Let's talk about chicks, man. It is 5:45. I'm Danny Bonaduce. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fabulous. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking. Paul, how are you doing this morning?
I'm great, thank you.
What's that shirt?
This is one of our Northwest Harvest, Rock the Harvest shirts.
Super cool
From a
shirt
couple of years
with a
ago.
6-string acoustic guitar kind of going up the side.
Yeah.
Very cool. Kids, how are you?
Good.
Wonderful.
All right, then let's start this thing. Oh, that's all I really have, so it's going to be an effort.
Are you having a tough morning?
No, I forgot a couple of things at home. I put my phone in my pocket before I got dressed. They're sitting out. Amy puts my clothes out. So I got up, looked at it, looked at the news highlights, checked the time on it, put my phone in the right front pocket.
Before you put the pants on?
Yeah, because I have shirts and underwear. I mean, I'm standing there naked and don't want to calm down. It's quite the image, I know.
Yeah.
But I don't want to forget it again. And it's dark. I'm trying not to wake Amy up, and the phone just disappears. So I put it right in the top pocket right away. And I pulled it out a couple of times to do something, and Amy even had to call it this morning. And it's, I don't ever take it off silent for fear it'll start ringing in here. So that didn't help at all. And I turned, and there it was, sitting right there. So I put my peach in my thing, and my drink in my backpack, and all that. The only problem is I didn't do any of those things.
Oh.
You lost everything.
I said to lost is a strong word, I'm sure. Well, remember, the peach comes out of the 20-pound box of fruit. I have fruit everywhere. It's not lost. It's among friends. I cooked my breakfast that I bring with me to work, and I did have that, and I do have that, but I don't know what happened to all the rest of the stuff. So I'm looking around, and it gets to be as late as I can get and not fully worry about not making it here. And that's a panic I can barely take. The idea of you guys looking at the clock and then making a decision, he's not going to be here. Let's start talking about something. And then secretly everybody finds out you two are way more entertaining than I am. And then I get fired and I never work again. See how busy that is for just like 2 extra seconds? So I did not want to be late. So I grabbed up what I thought was everything, and it was not. And Amy woke up to feed the cat, which is rare at that hour. And she goes, "Oh, are you leaving to work now, honey?" And I said, "Yeah, actually, I'm a little late." And I head for the front door. She goes, "Okay, let me lock the door." And I said, "Okay." And then she bends over to deal with the cat, completely blocking the way to the door. Like, you're not understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth. And when I say I'm late, I'm as late as I can be. I'm not like, oh, this is a couple of minutes different from my everyday. I run real close to the line, so I was panicked. So I get out of the house, and it's still pretty late. And I get to the gate of this building to go in and park downstairs, and there's Lee Callahan, the lady from Jack FM. And she appears to be hitchhiking.
Well, that's odd. She's already where she's going, I would think.
That's what I said. But still, I wanted to play along, and I pulled up next to her, and I rolled down the window, and I said, "Hey, you need a ride there, little lady?" And she said, "Not with a creep who would call me little lady," and turned and walked away. But she had stopped my morning. She had encumbered me, if you will.
And you're positive it was her, not because this has happened before where you stopped to pick somebody up that you thought was somebody
if
you
you're
knew.
calling Lee Callahan a prostitute, I mean, I'll ask her on our next rendezvous, but I don't think you've got that one. I think she's just a poor lady. I think what she's trying to do is be funny. She was here.
Yeah.
She had her thumb out, and I picked her up and called her little lady, and apparently that will not do. Little lady is a thing. So I went to South Center Mall.
Yeah.
I always get it mixed up.
I mean, that is the thing.
I was. Well, I still could have been in another mall and insisted it was that. But no, I believe it was that. Amy wanted to go to Nordstrom's, and I had nothing to do, so I said, "I will go with you, but I don't want to go to Nordstrom. I want to walk around, shop, and find funny stuff to wear, and be me."
Right.
And she said, "Okay." So I said, "We'll call each other when we're done doing whatever it is we're doing." And I was done when I went. And I swear to God, I wasn't at 21 Forever. It's just the only name of a store I can remember. No, Urban
Forever
Outfitters.
21?
Forever 21, I remember. And Urban Outfitters. So to give you an idea, I'm going in and out of those kind of stores, mostly because they have really exciting new Vans, tennis shoes, with all these colors and stuff. Oh, there was one all in skulls, and I thought 4 years ago, I'd have been dancing around in these shoes like crazy.
Yeah.
So I go in the back of one. I have two shirts, two of the exact same shirts. One in medium, one in large. I'm going to go see which fits. The medium fits. I come out to tell the lady, the medium fit, what do you want me to do with the shirts or whatever it is? And she's not there, so I put the shirt I didn't show off down, and then I put the shirt that I'm going to purchase back on its hanger and buttoned it up. The reason being, I would like them to give me the hanger. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. I don't know if it's policy or just the fact that it looks so nice on the hanger, and they make it so that you can carry it. She didn't do that, by the way. Stuffed it in a bag with no great appeal. But while I'm looking at the shirt that I didn't buy, laying on the counter, and right next to it, I'm buttoning the shirt that I'm going to buy, a guy comes up to me and says, 3. What?
What? Yeah.
That's what I said. 3. That's how many items he has.
Oh, he thinks you work there.
He thinks I work there. Hey, look, I'm slipping. I don't have a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame or anything, but I don't work at Forever 21. Not that I have anything against Forever 21, except I hate people that are 21 and aren't me. I would be 21. Hey, bitch and be 21. So he thought I worked there.
3.
And he said it twice, too. If he'd have said 4, I would have thought he was golfing. But I didn't know what he was doing.
What did you say to him?
I said, yeah, go right back there. That's what I said to him.
Let me know if you need any help, buddy.
He went about his business. I was not going to say that to him. That's how these things happen with me. Dave Bonaduce then said, hey, can I help you in your dressing room? And the guy said, Daddy, kissed me right on my neck. And I would like him arrested immediately. That's what I think it happened. But at the mall, I did get some gifts.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did you get?
I only got 2 of something I should have gotten 3, but they didn't have 3 of what I should have gotten. And one is paper towels.
All right.
I got us a roll of paper towels.
Okay,
We
now
always run out.
you did not purchase those at the mall. Did you steal them from somebody at the mall?
But look, they were stuck there. They're brand new. I did get them. Well, Amy did get them, but no, I did not steal them. But I brought them here. But I got
Something we're always in shortage of here.
Yeah.
Is paper towels.
now this. This is the other thing that I got. Hang on. Ready?
We're ready. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I can't see it.
Okay, everybody
Make
needs to.
KZOK great again.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to
Bright
look at
red
this.
trucker hat would make KZOK great again. And it's funny because I bought it and I was wearing it around. And people were giving me looks, but like I've said before, sometimes in the mall, people give me looks.
Yeah.
They give me the, hey, is that guy look? Or, ooh, I'm so sad. I heard that guy was better. Or whatever it is. It looks like a dog turning 30, whatever they're trying to say about me. But this, I couldn't tell if they were taking any kind of exception to the hat. Did they feel that made me aligned to Donald Trump, who wears the Make America Great Again hat? Because my hat, look, from far, not even far away, at first glance,
Yeah.
it looks like a Make America Great Again hat.
It does.
I don't know that I would wear such a thing. And long time ago, it seemed like such a good idea. I thought, we're already pretty great, but all right, if you want to make us even better and the stock market will go up and I'll make some money for not even working,
Sure.
yeah, I'll do that. But the second the guy started opening his mouth, I'm not wearing his hat. But this, Make KZOK Great Again on a bright red hat in the exact same font, picked it out myself, I thought would be fairly humorous.
It's very, very cool.
Well, I may have gotten you one.
Really? Oh, that's awesome. I hope you did.
See, good, because 2 things, and I guess the one thing cancels out the other. The other thing was they didn't have 2 red hats with no emblem on. Everything had an emblem. Everything had a sports team. And the only reason they have any of these at all is they put on some other sports team you might not have. I guess. I don't know why they don't have them, but they don't have them. And then I thought, so Sarah or Paul, somebody doesn't get a hat, or the kids, somebody doesn't get a hat. And have I ever seen Sarah in a baseball hat? I don't believe, have I?
So. Maybe at a Mariners game.
At a baseball
But it
game
wouldn't
with
be
the
your thing. You wouldn't be hurt
No.
if I went, oh man, I got Paul one night, because I felt I didn't know what to do. I was actually going to scrap the whole thing. Can't show up at work for just 2 out of the 3 of
Well,
us.
that's nice of you to think of.
I most certainly did. Well, all right, then hang on, Paul.
Because Paul wears
I'm
a
so
baseball
excited.
cap every day.
KZO, or watch Danny TV, Facebook.com/KZOKFM. Oh my gosh. This
Aren't
is
they
awesome.
cool?
So cool.
And they weren't free, mister. You're indebted to me forever.
Well, thank you.
I mean, not even for like hours, like forever. The
I
rest of
already
your
know I
life.
have to make it a little bit bigger. I got a pretty big
You got a
noggin,
big
man.
noggin. You are a 7.5. Wow.
Oh my
What do you
God.
think,
Oh,
man?
they're
Sweet.
great. Make KZOK great again. And our boss, the same guy that when I said, no, I think Taylor Swift is way better than the Grateful Dead, and he threatened to fire me, I think the same guy is going to say, make KZOK great again. We're great. For 43 years, we're blah, 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 blah. That's kind of how my boss sounds.
News is brought to you by Les Schwab. A woman who suffered a seizure aboard a research vessel over 40 miles off the Washington coast had to be rescued by a Coast Guard helicopter crew. The dramatic nighttime rescue was captured on video, which shows the helicopter rescue at sea. So she's on this boat. She has a seizure loses consciousness, needs medical attention right away, and they had to do a helicopter rescue because she wasn't going to be able to get herself off of the deck of the boat onto another vessel.
But she wasn't out goofing around. She was on a marine investigation boat or whatever.
Yeah, she wasn't goofing. Oh, you mean out like on a joyride?
Yeah, when you said she couldn't get herself off the boat, she didn't have to.
Yeah.
A bunch of other people there, right?
She was on a research vessel, doing some work. And, out in the open ocean, it's not always that easy to rescue somebody.
No, it seems amazing to me that we said that a helicopter is able to get there in time. Either land or put that rope thing. It's all fairly dramatic.
Yep. They were able to take her to the hospital for further care, and everybody's okay. Not sure why she's suffering seizures, but...
Yeah. Seizure, or as we call them on the sea, zure. That was a walk, man.
More of a swim.
Oh.
A second Amazon Go store opened in downtown Seattle yesterday. 5th and Marion, about a mile from the first one, which is near the Amazon Spheres. Amazon made the announcement about this new location a few months ago, but just opened up yesterday. And it's the same exact premise where you go in and you have your little bag and you put all your stuff in your bag, and then Magic sends it to your phone and you walk out.
Right.
So you don't have to wait in line. You don't go to a cash register.
And is he just assume that his customers with their affluent ways and their good jobs are not hiding salamis up their shirts or down their pants or some such things? Because there's no sensor in the thing when you pick it up, like in stupid hotel bars. You can't even look at your Coca-Cola. They'll charge you $9.
No, it is sensors.
Oh,
Yeah. There are sensors. I don't know how it's not attached to the product. I don't know how exactly the technology works, but
that's fairly easy with this hotel. I think it's some kind of magnet thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're doing with meat, but it's not that difficult of technology. I'm just wondering how difficult it would for people to steal, because food is a high-end theft market, especially steaks and meat. I just watched a documentary on this problem in Scotland they're having, where everybody's stealing this meat and reselling it on a black market. Now I don't think that's happening in Seattle. But I don't know how people aren't tempted to steal. I got a good job. I'm tempted to steal.
yeah.
There was a case when this first store opened of a woman who looked at her bill and realized she hadn't been charged for an item and notified them and said, thanks for telling us, but go ahead and keep it.
Yeah, I would expect nothing less.
It's not a perfect system. It's interesting, if it
but
works.
What do you think it cuts down on the manpower in the store? 50%? Because you don't need cashiers, but you can't just let
Still
people
have
walk around without
stalkers
people.
and-
People that say,
Yeah.
"Oh no, it's right over there, Mrs. Johnson," or whatever they say.
Why would they call you that?
I don't know, because you should see me in my skirt.
A man has been fined $1,500 for touching a Hawaiian monk seal, as well as harassing a sea turtle on the island of Kauai, Hawaii, and then posting the video of him doing those things to social media.
And have you seen the video?
I have.
And do you agree with the sentence?
I do.
Because sometimes, like that guy bothering the cow or whatever it was, a manatee,
Bison.
same thing. Yeah, I felt that bull had it coming.
Really? For existing in his natural habitat?
No, that pavement is not his natural habitat. He was
It was.
sitting on a 2-lane highway.
It was before you put the pavement there.
It was before they paved it, but we paved it. Why? Because we're better than them. We have thumbs. That thing got shushed by some guy, smacked it around a little bit because it's a bison. It charged him. It looked like to me like he got knocked on his ass. I think it's all fair.
Well,
Turtles, I don't agree with. What are they gonna do? Have a flipper at you? They can flip you off.
he went and walked up to the monk seal, which was sleeping on Poipu Beach, strokes it with his hand. The seal is startled, turns towards him, and runs away. The guy runs away, not the seal, because seals don't have legs. Then he goes and harasses a sea turtle while he was snorkeling at Poipu. Now, all species...
All the same guy?
Yes, same dude.
Did he film this?
I don't think he filmed himself snorkeling. I think someone else was filming this, but I'm not positive. Species of sea turtles in the United States are endangered and protected under the Endangered Species Act. So he's breaking federal
it's
law.
a big deal. They have where I go in Puerto Vallarta is one of the biggest turtle sanctuaries in the whole wide world. And they come and they go. And man, when they decide to go back into the ocean or if they do anything, they go shopping for a hat. The police throw up roadblocks and everything. You can go nowhere near that part of the beach.
Well, in Hawaii, you can snorkel with sea turtles all the time.
No, that's the point.
You don't
Yeah.
touch them. You don't try to pet them and harass them. And he did. So he got.
Now, what did he do when he say he wrestled? He wrestled the ground or he pet it?
It says he was acting very aggressively and chasing it. So scaring the who's it's out of the...
Chasing a turtle.
Yeah, how do you chase a turtle?
There's a chance I could catch a turtle.
Right.
He's hanging out and he's trying to eat.
So what did they do to this guy?
They fined him $1,500. I think they should quadruple that.
I'm not brokenhearted over it. The laws is the law, especially when it comes to turtles. But sometimes I think I'll just always throw back to when I was a younger man. I don't even think that much longer. They were building all sorts of stuffs, and it was the best thing that ever came to my town. And woo-hoo-hoo! And then they found this little thing called a spotted owl, no bigger than I don't know, 6 inches tall, a little baby. And they stopped everything, and they wouldn't come back because there was owls. And it's like, shut up! They're going to ask me who. I'm going to say me, and then shoo them away.
I'm okay with them finding this guy, but I'm not sure I wouldn't have done one of those things, not both in the same day.
Why would you want to go touch a sleeping seal?
Why wouldn't you want to pet a seal?
I got a picture of a wild sea lion, maybe 700 pounds, taking an anchovy from my mouth in Cabo San Lucas. You could say, oh, you're harassing that giant sea lion, or you're feeding that poor, unfortunate beast. Exactly. I'm going with that one.
Or you're actually making a beast not be able to feed itself because it's now reliant on humans for food.
Now I would be completely thrown if I didn't think, well, then I would kill it and wear it as a wetsuit. Throw me with it, wouldn't know how to feed itself. Get some fork and knife like a grown-up.
Well, that's why you're not supposed to feed ducks and geese and all that stuff, because they start to rely on humans.
Well, I always think the same thing. Ducks and geese and chicks better hurry. That's all I have to say.
You should get a hat with that on it.
I think they exist. I think you go get one.
Yesterday, we talked about the sad passing of Senator John McCain.
Yeah.
We talked about his final wishes being that Donald Trump not attend his funeral. And over the weekend, so John McCain died on Saturday, and over the weekend, the White House flew flags at half-staff, and then yesterday morning, the flags went right back up, and some people thought that was in poor taste, that it was too quick.
I won't say what it was because it wasn't their fault, and I'm not positive I called the right place. But I can see a beautiful American flag hanging. I can see it from my balcony straight downtown. And I kind of tell how the wind's blowing that day, and I just like seeing it. But it was not at half staff since this happened. I'm trying to call this building all day to go, hey, lower your flag. You need to lower your flag. But I cannot get a hold of the flag and lower person.
Well, a lot of people called out President Trump for not having the flag fly longer at half staff and wondering, when is President Trump going to say something about the passing of John McCain? Well, just about 2 days after the fact, Donald Trump did release a full statement. He said, despite our differences on policy and politics, I respect Senator John McCain's service to our country and in his honor have signed a proclamation to fly the flag of the United States at half-staff until the day of his interment. I have asked Vice President Mike Pence to offer an address at the ceremony honoring Senator McCain at the United States Capitol this Friday.
Well, that's all very nice. I think that's a good thing. But by the way, and if you have anything like this, I apologize, but this would now be the time. When everybody is saying what a hero John McCain is, right? Did you hear what Sawant said?
No.
Is it Councilwoman Sawant?
Yes.
Is that what it is? You know what she said?
I don't.
And you guys should look it up, too, because make sure I'm right, because I was really mad. She calls him a murderer right after his death and says, remember this guy, John McCain, Senator John McCain, is responsible for the deaths of 100,000 people.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, gee, and a couple days after a guy's death, if those are your beliefs, give it a minute.
She's not alone, though. There are several other politicians who said negative things about John MCCain after his passing.
They didn't say that. They did not say, no, I looked, and nobody else said you're responsible for the death of 100,000 people. That's outlandish. He's got a wife. He's got kids. Why would you say that right now? Why is she such a terrible person?
So she did say that. She said John McCain shares responsibility for hundreds of thousands of deaths. To whitewash that is to disrespect those who died in Iraq, Afghanistan, and elsewhere.
And it goes on. It goes on for quite a while. I just don't know what to do because I've had it with this woman. Paul, you've worked on the political radio station. You have to keep on touch with what's going on. What's our best course of action to show how much we hate this lady and have it have some effect? When I say we, I mean me. I'm not telling your political views.
I mean, you have the opportunity to vote for someone else for city council. She's a member
tomorrow.
She's a member at large. I don't know when her term ends.
I thought she just got elected.
I thought she just got elected.
Right. I think there are a couple years left on her term, but she's a member at large, meaning everybody in the city voted for her, not just a specific neighborhood. So
Well, not but everybody voted for her. I voted directly against her.
right, I mean, everybody had the opportunity to
Right.
vote for or against her. So.
We're crazy. We did elect socialists who then call American heroes murderers and responsible for hundreds of thousands of. That seems. Can she be recalled for that, or is she just covered by First Amendment?
I mean, I don't know what the recall process is for
we can hate
Seattle City Council. You can certainly.
I can certainly hate
her.
her. All right, I hate her.
You're well within your rights to dislike anybody.
Oh, I don't dislike it. I dislike lots of people, but I hate her.
Text that word right now for your chance to win 200. 200 is the number to text to. KZOK.com for all the rules and details.
Yesterday, a scary moment at the Statue of Liberty in New York City. 2 propane tanks caught fire near the base of the Statue of Liberty, prompting the evacuation of 3,400 tourists. And
Oh, it must have looked like she was tooting fire.
They said this nearly sparked a catastrophic explosion. FDNY said that you're dealing with 300 pounds of propane, which is a very dangerous situation. There's a tremendous ball of fire when propane tanks do explode. Now, this was a construction site, and this was at just before noon, so completely busy. You know, summertime travel in New York City is super high.
Yeah.
Tons of people there. They said it took 50 firefighters 2 hours to get the blaze under control.
Right.
Thankfully, only a couple of minor injuries, and they were able to reopen Liberty Island a few hours later.
Now, you lived there for a very long time. Did you ever climb to the top of that thing?
No, I didn't. Matt did, but it was
I
closed
didn't.
for several years.
I didn't either. I went there and somebody said, "Hey, you want to go climb that thing?" And I went, no, it seems like a weird thing to even want to do on a hot. She's like aluminum or green. She's made out of saran wrap. I don't know what the deal is of why I would climb her, but it's got to make you sweaty.
And there's a line.
There's
Who
a
wants to stand in a
line.
line?
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't know why I never had the desire to do it.
You ever went to the top of the Empire State Building when I was there?
That's something you missed out on. That's fun.
Well, I missed out on it, except there's way taller buildings now. You can go to those.
Well, yeah, but it's still historic and beautiful, and the architecture inside is looks from the 1920s.
Yeah, I've seen all I need to see, and You've Got Mail. No, and Sleepless in Seattle. One of the same movies.
JetBlue Airways announced it is raising fees for checked bags or changing a ticket. This could prompt other airlines to raise fees because, believe it or not, those fees add up to a boatload of money for the airlines.
Right.
$7.4 billion is what U.S. carriers made from checked bags and ticket changes and cancellations.
Yeah, but, I was carrying some of my sister-in-law's luggage. That weighed as much as a passenger. It's not going to eat or drink, but they don't give you free food anymore either. You have to buy that cheese spread or whatever you're getting. So, I'm not a fan of them doing it, but I can see, where they get, especially with over 40 pounds. This thing I carried yesterday the day before yesterday for my sister-in-law, 55 pounds in a duffel bag. There was no good way to carry it. It looked
But
like
even
a dead
if it
body.
carried 5 pounds, they're still going to charge her if she checks it.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not based on the fact that it's a dead body in there, but it's space that it was going to be empty anyway. So you're charging somebody, the plane's going with or without bags.
Right. But without, unless you've got $30.
Yep.
And they don't, it's not whether or not they want to fill the space. It's whether or not you'll pay.
You'll pay.
And you will.
And you will. But you know what you should do is what I do, unless I'm traveling with my wife who just doesn't get it. I can go anywhere for a week with a backpack. No problem. T-shirts, socks, underwears are the big part. 2 pairs of jeans, I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chicks, man.
Chicks.
That's how I travel.
What about a blow dryer?
No.
What about any other girl things?
I might bring some makeup.
Yeah, you're out.
But no, I travel with a backpack. I
You
never
and your
check a
girl
bag.
stuff.
You don't check a bag, really?
Never.
Wow. See, I hope my little girl's listening.
Are we talking about your wife?
Yes. Otherwise, we should be arrested.
A piece of computer history that helped launch a $1 trillion company is hitting the auction block. A fully functioning Apple One is being auctioned by a Boston-based auction company next month. It's one of 60 of these remaining 200 that were designed and built by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak back in the 70s. The machine was restored to its original operational state, and it is now going up for auction where they believe, while it sold for $666, could get 300,000.
Wow. Yeah, those things, they're real collectible. I understand. Is that the one with the keyboard and the monitor and the computer all in one thing?
Oh, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's all built into the same box.
Yeah,
Oh,
I had
gotcha.
one of those. And there's also the Brother, and that was very similar to that. It was all in one.
But the original price tag was $666.
Yes.
That's really, really odd.
Do you know what?
Very strange.
I remember that now that you pointed out. I remember people talking about it. And then when people talked about it and stayed there, I thought they're doing this on purpose.
Weird. A Montana man who was convicted of methamphetamine possession will be granted another trial after it was revealed one of the witnesses in his trial was under the influence of methamphetamine when he testified. Derek Thrush.
I mean, could you find people in Montana not under the influence of methamphetamine?
Probably
Reasonable
not.
question.
Probably not. Derek Thrush works as a forensic chemist for the state. He was called as an expert witness in the trial of James Batchel to testify what the residue was that was found on a glass pipe when this man was arrested. That's when they realized, this guy Thrush, while he's working at the lab, is taking and using drugs he's supposed to be analyzing.
They asked him to. He has to test it, right?
I think there's
How
that
else is he
stuff
going to know?
that turns blue if you put some of the powder in. It turns out to be meth. I think that's what they meant. The good old days of cops putting their finger in a baggie and then going
They taste it. Yeah.
cocaine. Those are and you know why that's over? The popularity of cyanide and people not liking police officers. The
And
cops just
fentanyl.
said, "We're not doing that. That's super dangerous," and they gave them all these kits.
A video that is circulating has hundreds of thousands of views and reactions on Facebook. It shows a guy called the Bee Man. Now, if you've got a bee infestation, a bee problem, you call somebody.
They're called
You
B-Man.
Call the expert. You call
Who are
the
you
Bee
gonna
Man.
call?
The B-Man.
Well, this guy got called to.
I would call Ann B. Davis, but I'm pretty sure she's dead now.
He got called to an El Camino where the guy said he was driving it, and all of a sudden, hornets started swarming him.
Wow.
Turns out his El Camino was full of European hornets. They had made a nest in the seat.
European hornets. Ooh, way more gnarly than American hornets. I don't know that.
I don't know.
I think we should call them hooker nets because it just sounds so much nicer. Hornets. Who says that?
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida. Story of the day.
Yay.
A Florida man is accused of threatening a coworker with a box cutter all over an argument about music. Caleb Robinson was working at a warehouse where he and his coworker were cooking hamburgers, drinking beer, and listening to Christian music. And his coworker said, "Dude, I don't want to listen to Christian music. You got to change that." And he said, "No, we are listening to Christian music." Well, the dude who didn't want to listen to Christmas music then got the box
Christmas
cutter.
or Christian?
Sorry, Christian. Guy grabs a box cutter and says, "You better change that because this is garbage." Well,
It's
the
not
fight,
garbage. I can play here. Besides, I like them.
you know, whatever music is on the radio or, while you're driving or something can be very upsetting.
Yeah,
Christian
sure.
music while you're drinking beers and roasting some burgers. I can imagine that gets
Yeah,
into
I
quite
can
a
see that.
fight. Well, he's threatened to slit his throat and throw him in a wood chipper.
Wow. Maybe a little overreaction.
Well, you don't know what song was on.
Well, the guy who was put on the Christian music in the first place said he clearly has Satan manifesting inside of him.
Clearly, that's what I would say.
Oh, Florida.
Oh,
Florida.
nobody killed anybody?
No.
Oh, all right. Well, they just rise again anyway. That's what happens when you listen to that music.
News brought to you by Les Schwab. When we come back with music news, two legendary rock bands got together at a concert and magic happened. A wild update to the Roseanne reboot. One of the stars has leaked some big info, and we will share it with you next in entertainment news. Bad news for the Seahawks. We have got the latest, and you can win yourself a pair of Mariners tickets next in sports. Starting with music news. Foo Fighters' Taylor Hawkins recruited Queen drummer Roger Taylor over the weekend for a live cover of Under Pressure. This, of course, was their 1982 hit with David Bowie. And the band has been out on tour, and they've been inviting just random people to join them on stage, depending on what
But
city they're in.
they still have their front man, right? The guy
Dave
from...
Grohl?
Yeah, of course, Dave Grohl. I got confused. I heard Queen. I'm saying, no, the guy from Star Search or whatever. It was saying for
Adam
Queen.
Lambert,
Adam
yeah.
Lambert. That's what I thought you meant.
No, Foo Fighters are out on tour, and the drummer for Queen joined them, and they did a cover of Under Pressure. People said their minds were blown. They said it was absolutely amazing. This was a surprise concert that the Foo Fighters did. They performed at a very small venue in Los Angeles, and their name, they said I can't say the name on the radio.
They gave themselves a dirty cover name?
The Holy Splits.
Yeah. I guess.
did, yeah.
It's bad. If you weren't already superstars, I would say bad marketing. You don't want to have a name people can't say on the radio.
I think they don't want people to know about the Holy Splits, though.
Right.
So this was at the parking lot of the Hollywood Palladium. They just decided to do a pop-up concert there.
I did a concert there in 1970.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Opening episode of The Partridge Family is in the Hollywood Palladium.
And they're playing Safeco Saturday night.
That's right.
So who drummed
Who drummed for what?
the live version of this song?
I just told you that. The drummer for Queen.
But
Okay,
wasn't
so
it
what
the Foo
happened to-
Fighters drummer? What did he do?
No, he's multi-talented. He does a lot of other instruments.
Tambourine. She's saying he played the tambourine.
Yeah. Who sang?
Dave Grohl.
Sang the Queen thing. I would
Yes.
love to hear that.
Yeah.
Do we have any audio of that?
No, not yet. I'm sure somebody will put some on the internet
Yeah.
Oh,
shortly.
I hope so.
Fans are going wild over the ideas that Neil Young and Daryl Hannah got married over the weekend.
Really?
There's some cryptic postings on social media, and people have started to congratulate them. We do not have any confirmation, but there is the big rumor circulating that they got married on his boat in the San Juan Islands of California, which is my understanding, above his yacht.
Wow, I would love to know what kind of yacht.
Yeah.
I bet I can look it up after the show. Because Eric Clapton owns a yacht that he leases out, that we could all pool our money together and take our wives and husbands and rent Eric Clapton's boat and go.
Why don't we do that? Let's
Because
do that.
it's a lot of dough, I think. I think if we all wanted to do it, we might need $25,000 a couple, and
That's
we'd be.
insane.
I don't think that's enough. I think we might
Really?
need another
Wow.
couple. Yeah. So if you know a bunch of other couples with $25,000,
Okay. A record has been broken. Unfortunately, the person whose record was broken is Taylor Swift. And the people who broke it, Korean pop band BTS. They put out a new video for their song. This is a song called Idol. It got 45 million views in its first 24 hours.
and that's what the Taylor Swift record is.
Taylor Swift's was 43.2 for Look What You Made Me Do.
You know what's so weird? But by the way, I hate that song.
I know.
She didn't make it any
It's
better
not,
either.
it's not one of the other Asian countries and languages. It's Korea, not spoken by all that many people in the world. So it just seems like for K-pop to be starting to break these records is interesting to me.
So this is the song right here.
Is that English? That's English.
I think their songs, at least for the most part, are in English.
For almost all K-pop?
No, this band in particular,
Oh, okay.
I'm not a big K-pop follower.
Me either, but I think it's interesting. I think because how far they go to be successful. No further than Americans, but it's an interesting new way to go with the K-pop thing.
Big Trouble in Little China was a movie that came out.
One of the greatest movies of all time, my whole life. Kurt Russell, just genius.
Does it hold up? Have you rewatched
Yeah,
it?
I watch it all the time. I watched it yesterday. I mean, that's not completely true. You know that theater I was telling you about where they have pizza and
Yeah.
beer and hard drinks? I'm trying to convince them to play it so I can go and see it again while my wife drinks beer or whatever and we eat pizza.
Why wouldn't they? They should totally do that.
We should. They did. We saw Scrooge there on my recommendation.
Neat.
What's the name of that theater? Do you remember?
I don't.
Oh, I'd love to give them a shout out at 6:36 in the morning. But it's totally cool. If you're looking for a place to go, it's really fun. And they have pizza parties for kids. It's a really neat place to watch a
Cool.
movie.
And what part of Seattle is it in?
Yeah, okay. Cleveland. I don't drive. I don't
Fremont? You don't know?
know. Yeah, I'm going to go with, Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill, and I'm right. Look at that. What are you
Let's
guys going to
see.
Google? Pizza
the
movie?
$3 bill cinema?
Nope.
Central Cinema.
That's Central Cinema.
Yeah.
Great night out if you're looking for something cool to do with just you and the wife or the husband and or the kids. Really fun place.
Central Cinema.
Plus, you can get geese and you don't even have to sneak in booze that I might have used to do in my day.
Back to Big Trouble in Little China. They are remaking it with The Rock. However, they said don't use that word remake. They said this is a project that is in development, but they're not going to reboot it. They're not going to remake it. They are going to build off it.
So it's a remake.
We are in the process of
Just because
developing.
you're 6'4" and 280 pounds doesn't mean you can tell me not to call your remake a remake. It's a remake.
Right.
We are in the process of developing, and let me tell you, the idea is not actually to remake Big Trouble in Little China. You can't remake a classic like that. So what we're planning to do, we're going to continue the story. We're going to continue the universe of Big Trouble in Little China. Everything that happened in the original exists, and The Rock is not going to play Jack Burton.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe.
It's some kind of revival.
All right. But I will tell you this, when they call it an instant classic, which is what I call it, I also call it totally stupid. It's one of the more stupid movies ever. It's ridiculous, and it's just supposed to be. It's the worst It's bad B movie dialogue. It's crazy bad. Therefore, hysterical.
Fun to watch.
Yeah, totally fun to watch.
I remember if I've ever watched it.
And Kurt Russell, it's this blathering guy. I think he might be the only white dude in it. No, there's a lady in it too. But anyway, in his trucker hat, driving his big truck, he'll start with like this. Somebody will say, "So how's it going?" And he will do this as a response to, "Hey, how's it going?" He'll say, "It was a dark night out on the road, 3 a.m. I didn't know which way to turn, but Jack Burton always makes the good decisions. I look to my..." That's how he says hi. It's one of the funnier things in the whole world.
John Goodman gave an interview and may have revealed what's happening with the reboot of Roseanne. Now,
God, I was worried about him. He looks like he's starving. I'm not kidding. What is he, lose 800 pounds?
he's lost a ton of weight. He was talking about this, what to do with Roseanne after she went crazy and was kicked off her own show. And he said...
Like what to do with the character?
Yeah, like we've all been wondering what's going to happen.
Right.
How are they bringing this show, The Connors, back without Roseanne, and how are they going to address it?
Well, they did it without John Goodman. Didn't they kill him? Mm-hmm. And now he's back. How hard can this be? Just doing the reverse.
Yeah.
He said, I guess that my character is going to be mopey and sad because his wife's dead. And so now we're all like, okay, spoiler alert. Looks like
But
John
what else
Goodman,
were they going to do?
She could be working for Habitat for Humanity, building houses in Africa.
She could be on the farm with Timmy and Quackers.
Oh, yeah, right.
She could be.
You could send her to live with another nice family.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of people said it looks like John Goodman accidentally revealed that Roseanne's character will be killed off.
They had to kill her.
We have to kill her because if we don't kill her, she could come back.
Yeah, and because we want to see, like, if she's building houses in Africa with Habitat for Humanity, then you would expect episodes where we see her doing that.
Now,
Right.
we, in my day and age, we had the number one show in the country, and there was me, and there was Shirley, Keith, Lori, me, Chris, and Tracy. And year two, they just said, let's dump that little Chris kid. We don't like him anymore. And they fired him. They brought in a kid that didn't even look like him and didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I just, one episode, I went, hey, Chris, how the hell are you? I went about my day like it was normal. So it could be done.
They do that in soap operas all the time, and they'll say, the role of Danny Partridge is now being played by Danny Bonaduce. And then that's it. That's the only time they address it.
It's one
just
announcement.
One announcement. And then you're like, okay, so now that person, we're supposed to believe that that's Becky? That's not Becky. Becky had blonde hair. This lady has red hair.
But can I just point out before we get back to the news and everything, that if there were to be a Partridge Family remake and some other guy was cast to play Danny Partridge, I would set his house on fire that afternoon. Like that's not even a real thing. You need to be too afraid to go to work, and they'll rehire me and come to their senses.
Even if it's as to play the role of a 10-year-old boy?
Yeah. How much bigger am I than a 10-year-old boy? I can wear your clothes, and look, your house is on fire.
Danny, you brought in a gift for Paul this morning and
I
one
did.
for yourself as well. Would you like to describe it for people who were not here an hour ago?
It's fantastic.
It is. It's
Beautiful.
fantastic. I was waiting for my wife to do something, and I saw this hat shop called Lids in the South Center Mall, and I picked up bright red trucker hats for me and Paul to say, make KZOK great again, in the exact font of the Donald Trump hat.
Well, you're not the only one who has plans for that Donald Trump hat. In the season finale of Seth Rogen's AMC series Preacher, there's a character dressed in a Nazi uniform wearing a Make America Great hat. Great again hat.
It doesn't seem to line up historically. Like the timeline doesn't seem to
No, it
match.
does. And by the way, there's other pictures of him wearing a hat that does say Make America Great or Keep America Great. Because I was shocked. The guy at the store didn't know exactly the hat I was talking about.
Oh, really?
And a guy that sells hats doesn't know that hat. So we picked out the right font and everything.
Well, a lot of people on social media not real happy with Preacher, putting somebody in a Nazi uniform with a Make America Great hat. And some people say hilarious. The show Preacher has been doing very well for AMC. It tells the story of a preacher who enlists the help of an ex and a vampire in order to find God. I've not watched it. It's a super violent
I haven't watched
show.
it, but the commercials are good.
Yeah,
the little
it looks
teasers,
good.
they do look good.
Derek, you're not watching Preacher, are you?
I watched the first season, but I'm not caught up on the new one yet.
And how is it? Is it a good show?
I like it, but I liked the graphic novels that it's based off of.
Right.
And that's a Seth Rogen show?
That's what I
He's
said.
It's
the
not a
executive
comedy?
producer.
That
He
seems
doesn't
so
act
weird.
on the show.
Right,
He's just
but
a
that
producer.
still, it couldn't be more out of his wheelhouse.
Right. It should be a stoner comedy.
Right.
Yeah, the graphic novel is supposed to be fantastic. Therefore, the show has been getting a lot of viewers because it was a big seller. I haven't seen it. Just the commercials look super violent to me. The fight scenes look kind of cool, but then there's a whole lot of blood and gore and more fighting. And then they find God, and there's a vampire. The end. You're all caught up.
Yeah.
Sorry, Derek. Spoiler alert. Hey, if you're above the age of 10, you probably remember going to a Blockbuster.
Sure.
Yeah. It was
Well-
great.
It was great.
Even though it was weird because you would stand there for like 45 minutes trying to find a movie.
Exactly.
There was maybe just too many movies.
I don't even continue to care for most of the people I would go to Blockbuster with yet. The event still seems super. It's like
The
a
memory,
great memory. Yeah.
Well, it is just a memory thanks to Netflix and the internet. There are no more Blockbuster stores except one in Oregon. Bend, Oregon is home to the last remaining Blockbusters. They had two in Alaska that just closed their
Yeah.
doors a few weeks ago.
I remember.
And in order to, in a way to honor this, 10 Barrel Brewing Company, who are a big brewer from Bend, Oregon, they've teamed up with this store to make an official Blockbuster beer.
Oh, that's nice.
And the label of the beer looks exactly like the Blockbuster logo.
Very
the
cool. You've got my
yellow.
attention more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
it's
that.
pretty cool. They said it pairs perfectly with buttery theater popcorn and your favorite movie-sized chocolate bar. That's nice.
That's
Yeah, it's
adorable.
Pretty cool.
And 10 Barrel makes some pretty
Although
darn
for the
tasty
most
beer.
part, when you kick back, watch a movie, eat, drinking beer. Does beer go with chocolate?
It depends on what kind of beer it
Doesn't
is.
seem
A
like the
stout
world's
would.
best combination, like milk.
No, yeah.
But
Beer and pizza.
I will
yeah.
say, yeah, I'll just take alcohol and what you got. I will take alcohol and kicks in the nards repeatedly, as long as I get to drink the alcohol while you're doing it.
Well, speaking of booze, you can join Derek and Tori for a happy hour at Duke's Seafood and Chowder in Green Lake this Thursday, 4 till 6 p.m. Not only do they have some delightful drinks, they've got plenty of mocktails, and they've got, of course, delicious seafood.
Do they really have mocktails?
Everybody's got mocktails.
Because I'll tell you, that makes a big difference for me in a menu when I look at a menu these days, because, I can just get a Coke, a Diet Coke, a juice, whatever I want. But like a mocktail, that's kind of what you miss, ingredients and stuff like that. That's one of the cooler parts of drinking, at least for me.
Duke's was voted Best Restaurant and Best Seafood Restaurant in 2018. Derek and Tori will be giving away a $500 gift card on site. That's a lot of chowder.
That is a lot of
To the
chowder.
to Duke's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
500?
Yes.
That's
Awesome.
a mess of, I was going to say it's a buttload. Don't say that about food. It's a bunch of chowder.
Duke's, which is Seattle for more than 40 years, they're setting the standard for sustainable seafood. So that's going to be a good time Thursday from 4 till 6. Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The Mariners were off yesterday. They resume action tonight playing the Padres. First pitch, 7:10. Felix Hernandez on the mound versus Jacob Nix. So 7:10 start time on Root Sports. On the road, therefore, we are playing an in-studio version of Mariners KZOK Music Trivia. You can win tickets to an upcoming Mariners game if you are the first person to tell us the title, the artist, and the year this song came out. I did not get the year right on this one, I'll tell you that much. Hopefully you guys listening know the title, the artist, and the year it came out. Call right now to win, 800-252-1025. All right, on to the Seahawks. We know they've got one more preseason game. The season opener is against Denver, September 9th, and unfortunately, we might be without linebacker KJ Wright.
No.
Pete Carroll said he was going to have his knee scoped yesterday, and we don't know the results of that scope yet.
Well, here's the results of that scope. Your knee really hurts no matter what was wrong before you did the scope.
And KJ and Bobby Wagner were pretty much the two guys left on the defense.
Right.
Well, now we're going to have Shaquem Griffin. He's been the backup, and he's a rookie, so we'll see what he's made of if KJ Wright does not get to play in the game opener.
You know, I cannot keep track of the late draft picks and things like that, or the people that said that guy didn't even play last year or whatever it is, because I believe Pete Carroll when he says, oh, no, I know they're not the guy we need. I'm going to make them the guy we need. I believe Pete Carroll when he says that. You know, I think every coach probably thinks that, but I think Pete's right. I think our guy's right.
And the saga about ODB seems to be nearing its end. Odell Beckham Jr. had been a holdout, and this wide receiver superstar football player has reportedly reached a 5-year extension, $95 million, which would make him the highest paid wideout in the league.
It would make him one of the highest paid quarterbacks if he were the quarterback. It's $20 million a year. Remember,
65 is guaranteed.
Wasn't it just the other day Russell Wilson signed for $20 million a year, and we all went, "Whoa,
it's a lot of money."
It's a lot of dough. This guy's getting a lot of dough. And does anybody? And this is what the important part is about this guy. Do you guys like his hair this year?
No.
I haven't seen it. If there's a change to his hair.
Yeah. Well, all it is it's the hair. It was like black or dark brown on the bottom, and then white on top. But the top part is grown out Bieberish and drips over the side of his head. It's pretty cool looking. Yeah, I do. It's funny.
Well, we were just talking about a college football player with an awesome name.
Was it Steel Fortress, right?
Yes, Steel
Nobody's
Fortress.
getting past Steel Fortress.
It wasn't. What was that? Not Blake Lively. What's the guy? Reality winner. Reality winner. What's going on? What's up, moms and dads? Stop naming your kids wacky names.
Well, that's a woman who is a whistleblower and is now going to jail. These are football players. And Steel Fortress, one of the best football player names out there. But there is another one. Now, this is a high school player, and he has come from a long line of football people in his life. So his uncle played for the Bills. His dad played for the NFL.
Oh, so actual pros.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Now, he's got an interesting name. His name is General Booty.
General Booty.
General Booty.
You got to
General
salute
Booty.
the booty.
Beats, private booty.
Yeah.
Kind of concerns me. Yeah, all right. I will accept.
General Booty is 6'3", and he's still a youngster.
I would think who names their kid General Booty, but the booty part, they didn't really have a choice.
I came with that.
That was the last name.
They played on it. And if you're going for the boy named Sue thing, that it helped make him a man, because now I'm named Sue and I had to fight and now I'm tough, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
If you remember that, at the end of that song, he goes, and if I ever have a son, I'm going to name him Bill or George, anything but Sue. That's what's happening when you name your son Keister Shenanigans or whatever his name was.
Exactly.
General Booty.
Yeah, I like Keister Shenanigans. I'm going to have another kid just so I can name it Keister Shenanigans.
In WNBA action, we've got game 2 between the Phoenix Mercury and the Seattle Storm. Tip-off is at 7.
Tip-off.
As we told you, the Mariners are on the road facing the San Diego Padres with a 7:10 start time on Root Sports, but playing an in-studio version of Mariners KZOK music trivia. Derek, play that song clip again. Title, artist, and year it came out. That's the info you need to know to win tickets to an upcoming game. And Jesse and Spanaway had the correct answer.
Right on, Jesse.
Any guesses on the year, my friends?
81.
83.
Danny, you win a cookie.
Oh.
I got that
You
one
look
right.
so
That's the first time I ever got the year right. Awesome. Dig that.
Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, I Love Rock and Roll, 1981. Jesse and Spanaway knew all the pertinent info. Is going to the Jeep winners window in our lobby to pick up what, Derek?
Jesse won tickets for the game on September 8th at 7:10 versus the New York Yankees, which just happens to be Salute to Latin American Baseball Night.
Salute to Latin American Baseball Night.
The Mariners are set to host the New York Yankees for a huge weekend series beginning Friday, September 7th. Watch Giancarlo Stanton and the Yankees slug it out with Nelson Cruz, Mitch Haniger, and the Mariners. And on the 8th, the Mariners honor the many great contributions the Latin Americans have made in baseball and wear special Marineros uniforms. Get seats while they last at mariners.com.
Awesome. All right, congratulations, Jesse. The rest of you will have another chance to win those tickets tomorrow morning right around this same time. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
That is the number to call, my friends, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. If you get a DUI anywhere really in America these days, but the state of Washington, we have some tough rules. 1-800-DUI, the lawyers there will meet you fast and free in Seattle, Everett, or Tacoma. So if the unfortunate happens to you and you get a DUI, don't delay. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. This game will not go away, nor should it. At 7:20 this morning, we're playing Put Up Your Dukes. We're continuing it because it works so well. You can win a pair of tickets to Battle at the Boat, number 117, coming up the EQC on Saturday. That's 7:20.
It did work fairly well. I thought we were continuing it because I was lazy and didn't want to come up with a new game.
Okay, there's nothing about that's what we all think. We just didn't say it because you're our pal.
There's a terrible story in the news about a man who was waiting for a train to pass. It took...
Ow.
It took too long, so he decided...
That took me a second. It's very funny.
He said.
He decided to do like you see in the movies where you roll under the train and get to the other side.
I've seen it.
Turns out it is much harder than it looks, and he got squished and did not survive.
Yeah.
He probably had dropped his hat in like Indiana Jones. He had to reach back for it, and that's why it didn't work. Because if you just roll fast enough, you're fine, right?
He's not fine.
I mean, don't do it. You shouldn't do it, for sure.
I think the trick is to roll in and not roll out quickly. You roll in and stay there for a second.
Stay in the middle?
Re-gauge how fast to get out of the other side. You're just not fast enough to make it all the way through. I think, well, and this guy backs me up, you're going to get split.
How scary would that be, though, laying just directly under the middle of the train?
Well, you had to get there by rolling intentionally under a moving train. So I don't know how scary that is once you've done the other.
Or,
I say just don't do any of it.
That's what I
Don't
say.
do
Good
any
call.
of it.
Man, I'm not even allowed to walk down the tracks, apparently.
No,
Right.
you're not.
But a lot of people do emulate things they've seen from TV shows or from movies. I mean, if I had $1 for every time somebody that when on a boat, whether it's a private boat, a ferry, stretches their arms and says, "I'm king of the world." Like, really?
You'd
you
have
really
like
have to emulate
$30,
Titanic?
right?
I'd have so much money.
How many boats have you been on? I haven't been on that many boats.
But
I have $1.
Most of the boats that you've been on, you've seen somebody do that.
She's dead right about that.
Yeah.
Every cruise ship I've ever been on, I think people break through like security lines. So you're not supposed to go that far to the front of the boat.
Yeah.
Yet people are doing the King of the World thing.
You could be on a dinghy and somebody's in there going, "I'm king of the world." Like,
All right, I'm not doing any of this unless she gets on my dinghy. That's crazy. I mean, how are you going to get from one place to the other if you don't get on the dinghy?
You know, sometimes it's stupid and other times it's just fun and goofy, but people do it all the time, emulate stuff from TV or movies. I'm sure you have, Danny.
Oh, you think I have? Derek, hit it. Okay, or don't. Why do I ever talk to you, young man? Yeah, that's it. Play more of that. The answer is risky business. That one.
Sliding in the socks.
In your underwear, you
Yeah.
got to do it. And by the way, it's relatively hard to do. You think you're going to crash and die.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, Paul. I remind myself, hey, you're not as good looking as Tom Cruise. That's a drag. But I'm in my little tighty whities.
Yeah.
Little
Got your
shirt.
sunglasses on.
Yeah, I'm very cool, man. And I slide around. But I think this is done by most people. And I don't know what age. Have you done it, Paul?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's two. Derek, you're another one down the rung of age. Do you do it?
I've not done this.
No, I got to do it. Come on to my house. We'll dress in our underwear. We'll slide around. I swear, there's nothing weird about this, Derek.
It sounds a little weird.
Come on over and bring your underwear.
You know, that's a nice one, Danny, because like I said, sometimes people emulate stuff that's super dangerous. Like this guy did trying to roll under a train.
Yeah.
Yours is emulating Tom Cruise. In his
I
underwear.
emulated a Scientologist. It's not completely safe.
Well, how about you guys listening? What have you done? You saw it on TV or movies and wanted to recreate it. You emulated something from TV or the movies. What was it? Call 800-252-1025 or text your answer to 90627 now.
All right, some guy tried to roll under a train. It was stupid, and he's dead now. I feel bad for his family, though. But he did it because he said he saw it in a movie. Have you ever emulated something from a TV show or a movie? 1-800-252-1025 or text 90627.
Good morning, Albert in Issaquah.
Hey, Albert.
Hi, guys. How's everybody doing this morning?
We're good. What do you got for us?
Man, when I was a kid growing up in Chicago, we watched that Mary Poppins movie. So I went up to the third floor with an umbrella, and I decided to jump down, right? But unfortunately for me, the umbrella didn't hold.
No. I can see that. How old were you when you did this, Albert?
I must have been like about 10.
All right, I can excuse it in the sense of I think I jumped off stuff. Paul and I were talking about this yesterday, that you jumped off the roof doing this back then.
Yeah.
But that's a whole extra story.
And you didn't think that an umbrella was going to stop you.
Nobody thought that but Albert.
Albert, did you break anything?
Actually, believe it or not, all I did was twisted my ankle.
Wow.
And broke the umbrella, I'm guessing.
Wow.
Yeah, and then my mom whooped my butt, but you know.
I'm just wondering exactly how many grown men have impersonated Mary Poppins. Although I did, what's her face from Somewhere Over the Rainbow, The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my wife used to dress up in that outfit all the time when she was a little kid before I knew her. I have gone to more than one party dressed as Dorothy, just so you know, so I guess I did.
I have helped a lot of men dress as Dorothy, done their hair.
It's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with you people.
What do you mean, people?
Drama in Renton, have you emulated something from TV or the movies?
Good morning, y'all.
Morning.
So, when I was a kid, I watched the action movies like most boys growing up, I think, and I thought it was really cool that I saw, I don't know, it was Chuck Norris or somebody, they flew in from this rope and crashed through a window and shot everyone up. Well, I thought I would want to do the same thing, so I tied a rope around my wrist and jumped out of a tree to swing down towards the ground. And it was not that cool because it hurt really bad.
Oh, bad, man. That sounds gnarly.
Lucky it's still attached.
Yeah, you are.
I like to go to redneck bars and start fights and pretend I'm in Roadhouse.
That's probably not safe for you entirely.
Probably not.
What's the line in that? You're too stupid to have fun. Yeah. That's what they're going to say to you. Don't go in there and do that.
Have you ever emulated something from TV or the movies? That's the question we're asking at 800-252-1025. And, of course, you can always text 90627. Hi, Vinny in Renton.
Hey, Vinny.
Hey, you wonderful people.
What's up?
Good morning.
Morning.
I got a couple. I know you read mine, but that's this one. But my favorite one.
Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman.
I have no idea what's happening to Vinny. He's having a stroke or whatever, but I love Vinny. That's all I know.
When we jump out of the tree over a lake, you go, rope swing, and I do the Tarzan.
Wow, Vinny, that's
pretty
as
good.
good as your Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
That's all because I'm driving. I gotta go. Love you all.
All right, see you, buddy. That was Vinny. Can you do a
Be
better
safe.
Tarzan than that?
I don't know.
Come on, give it a shot.
Nope.
Simple, you know. Would have done. Hang on a second,
That's
hang
not
on.
bad, Paul.
I didn't beat on the
No,
chest.
the two of us can't do it. You got to beat on your chest or somebody's chest. You got to beat on somebody's chest.
Lindy in Seattle, have you emulated something from TV or the movies?
Well, I haven't, but my very dramatic best friend did. We were like 17 years old, and she, like I said, bit of a drama queen back in the day. And she decided that she would try to reenact the St. Elmo's fire scene with Demi Moore when you turn on all the fans and open the windows and try to take your life by freezing to death. The problem is I don't even think it was winter.
Yeah. I don't think that was going to work out.
No, it really, really wasn't. But that was her. It was beautiful. We show up and we're, beating down her door, and she's got the dresser in front of the door.
Holy drama.
Yeah, holy drama.
Wow.
I do it a little bit differently. I open all the windows and then I get all my biggest fans to come over and blow on me. It doesn't work because there's only like one guy and he's weird.
Have you ever emulated something from TV or the movies? 800-252-1025. Hello, Rob.
I think
in
my
Louisville.
favorite thing is when Sarah's trying not to laugh, but she can't quite make it happen.
Always the way to go to.
Rob.
Rob.
Hey,
Hey.
good morning.
Morning.
Well, once in a while when I'm with my wife, when we're going to a drive-thru, I'll try to imitate Carl from the movie Sling Blade and ask them if they got any of them there fried taters.
You got them French fried taters.
Matt does it all the time, and I want to punch him in the face.
I like the way you talk. I like the way you talk. Oh, I'm getting good at it.
Yeah, it's good. It is annoying though. Like not you, but the character.
Oh, really?
Did we actually hear Rob's impression?
No.
Yeah.
Rob, lay it on us.
Please.
I mean, a little bit.
You got any of them in there fried taters?
Oh, I guess we did hear his impression. That
Maybe we might have.
that was the entirety of
not
it.
bad.
But I think Rob and I should go on the road doing that.
Just that
say,
one
Back and
line?
forth.
No, I'll say, you got any of them French fried taters? And he'll say, I forget
The
what
way
he
you
said.
talk.
That's the one. Thank you. I completely forgot. See, we're a team, Rob. Thanks, buddy.
We have some text into 90627. I drink eggs like in Rocky.
Yep.
Why would you do that?
Talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
I stood over Elvis's grave at Graceland and sang Heartbreak Hotel, like in Spinal Tap. And this person texted in, I always try the Luke Skywalker use the Force move to make the remote control come to me. So far, it's not worked.
Oh, yeah, no.
Hey, let's hear from Farmer Ted. Good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
Very well. Thank you for asking. What do you got?
Hey, when I was a kid, I used to run it around in like in slow motion, make the na noise like Steve Austin, the $6 Million Man.
Yeah, exactly. See, also a little bit like Mork from Ork, really, but different TV show, Nanu, that one. But that was pretty good there, Farmer Ted.
Paul, have you ever emulated something from TV or the movies?
The piano scene from the movie Big, where you're, standing on the piano.
Yeah.
But so sometimes we'll take Jelly Bean over to, there's a McDonald's near our house, and they have the big playland, and they have one of those pianos in there, but it's, I don't know, maybe a tenth of the size. I can still walk on it, but it's made for little kids, and it doesn't have all the keys, and I also don't know how to play the piano. So
But aside from
my
that-
recreation of the scene isn't like right on, but it's pretty good.
What about you, Linda in Auburn? What did you emulate from TV or the movies?
Hey, Linda.
Well, there were some movies back in the day where people would run along moving trains and they would jump from car to car as they were trying to escape or get the bad guys.
Right.
Well, I did that. There are a lot of trains in Auburn, and they would go really slow as they're taking off out of town. So my boyfriend and I at the time, we ran and we jumped on one of those trains, and then as it started going, we climbed up the top of the rail cars, and we started running the opposite direction the train was going
Sure.
and jumping from car to car, just like in the movies.
Holy
Wow.
smokes.
How old were you when you did that?
I don't know, 19, 20.
Because I
Dangerous.
might kind of love you. And I'll tell you why. It has been, I used to jump on trains as a kid. As an adult, try and sell that to one of your friends. Dude, we have to hop on a moving train. This will be hysterical. Nobody wants to do it. But Linda and her boyfriend at the time were all going train jumping.
Tori, have you ever emulated something from TV or the movies?
After watching Elf, I made myself a bowl of spaghetti with maple syrup.
No.
I had to try it.
How old were you?
Probably like 13.
All right. It's still weird, but
It was
okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, you know.
And Derek, you?
At the beginning of the TV show Jackass, there's a disclaimer that says no one should attempt to reenact or recreate any of these stunts. I don't know anyone who didn't see that disclaimer and think, now I want to do it twice as much as I did before.
You got the stapler out, did you?
You know what? Every time I saw This Is Your Brain on Drugs, I went and got really high. I said, nope, those are eggs.
Challenge accepted.
It is time to play another round of Put Up Your Dukes.
Put up your dukes.
A battle at the Boat 117 next Saturday night at the Emerald Queen Casino. Now, we know that Danny would fight any cast member from the Brady Bunch. He'd fight a juiced-up baseball player, Screech, and Dennis Rodman. In order for you to win, you just have to tell us who Danny is challenging this time to put up their dukes. Our contestant is Dan in Seattle.
Hey, Dan, let me ask you a question. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you understand the rules of the game?
Yep.
Then here we go, buddy. Excuse me. Put up your dukes if you are this title. The title held by Franz Ferdinand Karl Ludwig Joseph Maria of Austria at the time of his death in 1914. His assassination triggered one of the most brutal wars in modern history of World War I. Dead or not, this title can put up its dukes.
Dan, do you know the answer? Do you know which royal title Danny wants to put up its dukes?
Is that Duke?
Close.
No, we discussed this
Little more.
already. It's okay. That's not enough?
No.
Apparently that is not enough, man.
Can you be more specific?
The Duke of Earl?
No.
That was the other day.
Yeah, that was last week.
I thought you were doing pretty good with Duke, but
All right,
apparently
Corey in Bellevue, can you tell us which royal title Danny wants to put up his dukes, or do you need him to read the clue again?
No, I'm going to go with Ellington.
not. Yeah, Duke Ellington. I love that guy. Of
He
course,
did not start World War
He
One.
did not
no.
start World War One.
800-252-1025. I thought this one might be a little hard, but it's actually not. It's a royal title that Danny wants to put up its dukes. Brian and Kirkland, do you need the clue again, or do you know the answer?
Well, I love hearing Danny's sexy voice, but I think I just may have it.
All right, let's hear it, buddy.
Was it Archduke?
Yes.
Yes.
didn't let poor Brian get out the rest of his genius. Yeah, it's Archduke Ferdinand. That's for sure, buddy.
Congratulations, Brian. You've won a pair of tickets to
Brian's
Battle
very
of the Boat.
excited. As well he should be.
As well he should be. It's an awesome prize.
Tickets are available at emeraldqueen.com, but Brian is going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to get his tickets to Battle of the Boat 117 happening next Saturday night at the Emerald Queen Casino.
Hey, come up and say hi and tell me you're having a good time.
Join us again tomorrow at 7:20 for another exciting round of Put Up Your Dukes, and the big news of the day is next.
Okay, you're going to like this. The big news of the day brought to you, as always, by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or you'd go online to goldbergjones.com, or you just make sure to be listening tomorrow morning right around this time. Rick Jones be right in studio discussing all things divorce. Somebody's going to take your house. Somebody's going to take your kids. You need to know. Call here tomorrow morning. Rick Jones in studio.
Rick Jones.
A big new study has been done about American teenagers and their reading habits, and some might find the results a bit disturbing. According to this huge study, 1/3 of American teenagers have not read a book, hard copy, or a Kindle in the past year.
My son, and I chose not to believe him because it would make me too crazy. He said, Dad, when he was staying there, he said, Dad, I need a book report on the my favorite book that I read last year. And I knew it was coming, to be honest with you. And I said, yeah. And he said, I've never read a book ever. And I'm thinking, crap, he and his sister do this thing. They make bizarre claims, but I'm not sure how much he pounds the books in high school. Hopefully this new school he's going to will have a little more law and order.
Did he clarify?
No.
Has the kid never read a book?
That's what he said.
Oh, my goodness.
And he clarified it to make sure I know he was not saying last year, he meant ever.
Oh. Well, this shows that 1/3 of American teenagers have not read a book on a device or a hard copy in the past year, but guess what they are doing?
Playing games and looking at porn.
Spending 6 hours a day online.
That's too much porn. I mean, even for an adult.
I don't know what you do with the other 5 hours and 55 minutes.
Social media, texting, gaming, surfing the web. The average high school senior spends 6 hours a day online, which is double the time from a decade earlier. 8th graders, 4 hours a day. 10th graders, 5 hours a day. In the 1990s, 1/3 of 10th graders read a daily newspaper, and last check, that number was 2%.
But are there very many newspapers left?
No, but it also can be online reading of the newspaper.
You know
they
what?
are not doing it.
I think you should change its name. It's not the newspaper unless you can get ink on your fingers.
Yeah.
A new Bloomberg report says there are not one, not two, but 3 new iPhones that will be focusing on camera and speed upgrades. No, that's not your phone ringing.
Okay.
These are going to have the iPhone X edge-to-edge screen design, but the 6.1 iPhone will use an aluminum edge. The X2 and the X Plus will have stainless steel.
Ooh, I got plastic wrapped in plastic. I got the iPhone 5.
Yeah, you're still on the older one. Paul, are you Android or iPhone?
iPhone, but I have like a 6. I think a 6.
Yeah, because does it do everything you want it to do?
It does.
Yeah, mine too. It takes pictures, sends text where I get to talk. Hey, Paul, it's Danny. Nice hat. Send. Oh, he's got that message.
All 3 phones will have Face ID as well as gesture-based control systems that will replace the home button on the iPhone X.
I don't love the whole Face ID thing.
Scary.
I know some supervillain's going to cut my face off to make my thing open up so he can get the gold or whatever he's after.
No, so he can read that text about our hats.
Exactly.
A restaurant in Florida has canceled its weekly promotion after it went terribly wrong.
Uh-oh.
Now, we've all heard of Taco Tuesday.
Sure,
yeah.
I love Taco Tuesday.
Margarita Monday.
Wonton Wednesday.
Yeah.
You have Wonton Wednesday. Well, this restaurant in Florida was having Monkey Mondays.
Monkey Mondays. Well, they taste delicious.
Yeah, you can't eat monkey in the United States, can you?
I'm not sure if you can eat monkey in anywhere anymore.
They are not eating monkeys, my friends. There are live monkeys in the restaurant.
Oh, well, I don't think you can do that either.
I know one thing you can't do. They can't jump off the bed. There's monkeys, yes, they cannot
No
jump
more
off the
monkeys,
bed.
yeah.
No. One more jump and they'll all be dead. I don't know how that goes, really.
All it takes is one pesky kid to try to grab a monkey, and then the monkey gets mad and bites the kid.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what happened.
Good. Served them both right.
Yeah, what
bunch
did
of
they
monkeys
think was going to happen?
Yeah.
Exactly.
First, the kid's going to go up and pull on its tail and then realize, hey, they don't have tails. That's super weird. They should have tails. And that thing's going to bite. I've been bitten by 2 monkeys in my day.
Well, this kid was bitten, and they have now said they're changing their policy to allow only service dogs and ponies, no more monkeys.
Oh, Rattlesnake Wednesday's right out the door then.
They're going to have ponies, though?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't
Oh,
seem
well.
sanitary.
Tuberculosis Tuesday, as long as they're going to keep the evil stuff going.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
The sex boxes that were introduced
I'll take one. I don't know what it is, but I'll take one.
This was something introduced in Zurich 5 years ago. The government and the community is paying for sex boxes, which are one-car garages where prostitutes and clients can legally meet. They said this has been working out so well that they are recommending that others consider it. 20 to 25 women work daily at the facility, which resembles a row of one-car wooden garages. They have established working hours. You can buy sex from 7 p.m. till 3 a.m. And they said there are operating expenses. However, they haven't had any cases of violence.
Right. No, it's a great idea.
Keeping an eye on STDs.
Who do you know that said all of this should be illegal? That prostitution should be illegal, drugs should be illegal, name your poison. It should be illegal and taxed and
Danny
monitored.
Bonaduce.
What?
You said that.
Yes, I did.
That's who I knew that
I
said
did
that.
say that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not all free money. I mean, it's almost $1 million to operate annually.
25 hardworking hookers can make that.
Yeah, is the government paying for it, or
Government's
are
paying for
the
it.
prostitutes or the Johns paying for
But you still have to pay the prostitutes, right?
Correct.
All right. I'm in favor. I don't know about the one-car garages thing. Seems weird. So close to a public school. I'm against that.
Danny, you've long talked about wanting to run with the bulls.
I have. And I will someday.
Well, I was going to suggest you try what they are replacing it with in some parts of Spain, but not anymore. Running with the balls has
Well,
gone.
of course, yeah. Who would be brave enough to do it? Of course I'm running with my balls.
It has gone tragically wrong in the mountain village of Matalapino.
Why did the sound of them clanging together bother people?
These balls that they chose to use, they're gigantic plastic balls, but apparently they weigh 249 kilograms.
Yeah, the whole thing is a Raiders of the Lost Ark thing. Remember that where
Yes.
he's running in front of
Yeah.
that giant? It's that, I believe. They built kind of a tunnel for it, if you will, to corral the ball, and you get in front of it and you all just run. It seems crazy to me.
It was supposed to be a cruelty-free alternative to the running with the bulls. This is running with the balls, and it did not go well when one man panicked after seeing the giant ball roll at him. It crushed him, broken ribs, and he's in a coma.
Wow. That's tough.
Seems pretty cruel to that guy.
Yeah,
at the very
it
least.
doesn't seem cruelty-free to me at all. And by the way, on the cruelty-free, like, sure, the animals don't know. I would like to figure
What
out
was that?
how many animals have died and been maimed in the running of the bulls compared to people. People are the one things that get hurt and maimed and die,
The
not
people
the
are
bulls.
certainly at the disadvantage.
The bulls are just fine, and I do not want to see a bullfight. I hate the whole idea. It just doesn't seem fair. Or lose the weapons and just fight it out. You don't get a sword. Why do you get a sword? That's totally cheating. But this unstoppable ball seems odd.
Yeah. Former President Jimmy Carter and comedian David Letterman have helped launch a Habitat for Humanity building blitz in northern Indiana. David Letterman praised Jimmy Carter and his wife Rosalind for their dedication, and this happened on Sunday. They were at the University of Notre Dame, And then they kicked off a 5-day Habitat for Humanity blitz to build 23 homes.
And Letterman was actually out there like swinging a hammer?
Yes.
Nice.
Well, with that beard, he looks like a lumberjack more than a carpenter.
Also very true. So Jimmy Carter, David Letterman, building homes. Pretty awesome.
Like in the parking lot, and then they transport them to places?
No, they actually go to the property and hammer and build a house right there on properties. 23 houses, to be precise.
Super weird.
News was brought to you by Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE. And don't forget, tomorrow at this same very time, Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones will be in studio taking all of your calls. Free legal advice tomorrow here at 7:30.
Yeah, and there is, in fact, more to come. Coming right up at Sarah's Filthy Forecast.
It's Sarah with your filthy forecast. Oh, that fog yesterday. A little thin white wisp just lightly covering things up. It was just like that dress I wore the other day. The one we all found out was totally see-through in the sun. Oh, my. I was sans culotte, senza mutande, sin ropa. You're going to want to set your bits free this week.
Sure was filthy.
Let the sun have free reign over your who's-its or your what's-its.
Yeah.
78 today, 70 tomorrow, and yes, the sun will deliver the goods. Let it touch you. Let the sun do it for you. And let me do it again for you Thursday. Another forecast comes then. The best weather for Seattle. I'm sorry.
In foreign language, Boku no chimpo kid. Actually filthy, but don't look it up. My goodness gracious. Hey, can I tell you about our music festival?
Please do.
I will. September 21st and 22nd. It's in Vegas. Baby.
Vegas, baby.
Says it right there. It's our iHeartRadio Music Festival with some of the very biggest names in music, and we'd like to send you and a buddy or a girl or whatever it is there free of charge, including hotel and airfare for two. Your next chance to win happens in, I don't know, just a few minutes, right around 8:10 this morning, so stick around. You know, before we get going, I think I should tell you about the iHeartRadio app, don't you?
Sure.
I think you should. Here's the deal. It's the iHeartRadio app. You should get it. It's all your favorite music, all your favorite radio stations, and all free of charge. KZOK and iHeartRadio giving you your weekly mixtape, the good old days of like the 80s. Well, now it's a personalized playlist just for you, customized by you. The more you thumb up and save songs, the more you improve and update your personal mixtape. Every week, we'll add a fresh batch of songs so you will know and love these tunes. Get it all with the iHeartRadio app.
The U.S. Open is underway, a big tennis tournament that happens every year. And there's one guy that has had people talking, a tennis player, who is being called the luckiest loser because he never wins enough to make it into tournaments, but then he winds up going into the tournaments because other people have injuries or can't attend. So that's his nickname, the luckiest loser.
Have you heard about the lonesome loser? He's beaten by the Queen of Hearts every time. I think that's how that goes.
But I wonder, does he feel lucky? Do you think?
Yes, I do. I think he feels very lucky. If he doesn't have the talent, take the luck. If you don't have the skill to get where you are, what is that expression? That's a big expression. Oh, yeah. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Continue doing that, man. You'll be in there, although he's like 30 or something. I don't think he's got too much time.
But the fact that he gets to play on the biggest stage, I think that's
I think it's super
great.
lucky.
Sometimes I feel lucky, and I don't know why. I just will feel lucky, and I'll go buy a lottery ticket and realize that my feeling was completely off the target.
Yeah, that never happens to me. I don't ever feel like lucky, and I'm going to go buy a lottery ticket. Although sometimes I feel that I've become so lucky, I would never buy. It's like tormenting the gods. I would never go buy the lottery ticket because I just got this lucky, if I will, as lucky as I often think I am.
Yeah, you don't.
Because I got my job in radio. Best gig that could ever happen to a guy, I think. And I got it because I got arrested in 1985, and all these radio stations were calling to make fun of me, calling me to call Danny Partridge the drug addict. There were songs that was called Danny is a Pusher that was actually had my name in it. It was like the worst time of my life. And one of the radio stations thought I did a good job playing the freak and letting me get embarrassed. flew me in to do it on air. And when I was done, the boss said, hey, you're really good at that. You want to just stay? And I was hired that second out of the most misfortune a guy could ever have.
That's
awesome.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
it was nice. I felt lucky.
Feeling lucky. Well, you guys listening, when have you felt lucky? What's your story? Tell us by calling 800-252-1025 or text in 90627.
Okay, so there's this tennis player, and he's been dubbed the luckiest loser because he makes it into this big tournament without ever winning a single game. It's just because other people got hurt or whatever. Question to you is, when have you felt lucky? And I hope it's on several occasions. 1-800-252-1025 or 90627.
That's where you can text.
Yeah.
Jody in Olympia, good morning.
Hey, Jody.
Hey, good morning.
What's up?
Well, one day I was at the Red Wind Casino in Olympia, and I had to go to use the restroom, and the janitor had it all blocked off. So as I waited, I went, all right, might as well play the Mega Meltdown. $3 in, I won $10,000.
Okay, that is the luckiest trip to the ladies' room I've ever heard. I've actually gotten lucky in the ladies' room. I've never gotten anywhere nearly as lucky as Jody got in or not going to the ladies' room. Nice job, Jody.
800-252-1025. When have you felt lucky? Jody certainly got lucky at a slot machine. Normally, it's the other way around. The second you leave the slot machine,
right?
Somebody else wins.
The next guy hits it. Yeah.
So then they're the person who was feeling lucky.
I was talking to the new GM and at Snoqualmie Casino, and I said, "Is it true? Are there hot slots?" And he said, "No, we can't have such thing as hot slots. Yeah. They go off when they go out. You can't love them. You can't kiss them. You can't spin around 3 times." And as he was telling me, some guy won $25,000.
Oh, wow!
And I said, "I think you're lying, dude."
Crazy Mary texted in to 90627. She says she was feeling lucky when she got hit by a giant cottonwood tree, which was a big accident, and she survived it, and she's doing well, and she got to meet you people, she says, because of that tree. So.
And went to see Kansas, if I am not
went to see
mistaken.
Kansas.
Is it her wedding day? Isn't she getting married?
She's getting married very, very soon.
Congratulations on that there, Crazy Mary.
I felt lucky.
You know, if she's Crazy Mary, what about the guy marrying her? Lunatic Bob?
Yeah.
I felt lucky when my boyfriend, Scott, I loved Scott, and we were young and in love, and he said, let's go to Vegas and get married. We didn't, and now I feel very lucky.
Yeah, you are lucky. Because you know why? Everybody I asked to marry me said yes. They just kept marrying me, and it got very expensive and weird. It's not that, people say it's the most wonderful day. I'm going to go graduating high school. It's way more. Any 3 of my marriages. No, my 3rd marriage was perfect. What am I saying?
Richard in Federal Way, when have you felt lucky?
Morning, guys.
Morning, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. So I felt really lucky when I got to be on the Danny Bonaduce morning show.
Yeah.
With you guys,
Me too.
coolest people on KZOK.
Were you up here or were you remote? Or?
He came in and visited us in the studio.
I was in studio.
Here's how I tell one listener for the next, because I love you all with all my hearts. It's like, your own children or whatever. So here's how I want to know. What did you bring us?
I was actually the one guy that didn't bring anything.
Oh, man, it's over between us, Richard.
That's why we forgot you, Richard.
We have completely forgiven you for that faux pas. And all your friends' faux pas.
And that was nice of Richard to say that he felt lucky for being able to come on the show.
Plus, he could have said potato chips, and I'd have believed him. I know how potato chips got here.
Yeah, when in doubt, just say Oreos.
Yeah, Oreos. You're a big winner right there.
Vinny and Renton, when have you felt lucky?
Hey, guys. Good morning, you people.
What do you mean, you people?
I know. It's me again. Hey, I was playing golf in a big tournament, and I've been really bad in the first 9 holes, like a 44. And then my buddy comes out of the woods in the group ahead of us and starts throwing around tequila and another thing. And by the time the 18th hole, I was pretty tipsy and shot like only 2 over par on that side and won the tournament with an 84.
That is super lucky. Hey, Vinny, why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of pants? See, you don't even have to finish it. Me and Vinny, that's our act. I set it up, and then he just lost.
I
Thanks,
don't
buddy.
know. Why did the golfer wear two sets of pants?
I learned this from Jelly Bean, who will be on the show tomorrow, right? With her joke. Is that on Wednesday? Why'd the golfer wear two pairs of pants? In case he got a hole in one.
Oh, that's funny.
Thank you. I got it from Jelly Bean.
Was
for
that
real.
one of Jelly Bean's jokes? Was I here for that?
No, you weren't here. You would think you would be
You're
here.
a funny kid, Paul.
She is funny.
Well, Paul, when have you felt lucky?
Well, the correct answer is every morning when I wake up beside my beautiful wife.
I know I feel lucky when that happens to me, too. I wake up beside your beautiful wife.
I think about how lucky I am. But also, I remember a time my roommate gave me a Christmas gift, and it was a couple of lottery tickets, handful of lottery tickets, scratch-off tickets. And I scratched off the first one. I won $5.
Not bad.
Pretty cool. I scratched off the next one. I won $20.
Ooh.
I'm like getting excited.
Yeah.
I scratched off the third one. $1,000 I won on this lottery ticket. I'm like freaking out. I've never won anything like that my whole life. He's laughing hysterically. Yeah. Apparently, you can buy really authentic looking fake lottery tickets at the ye old curiosity shop down on the waterfront.
So
or
you
at the,
felt lucky for
winning the
seconds?
lottery. Yeah, I felt lucky for.
That's awful.
That's awful.
Yes.
I hate your friend.
I hate your friend.
I hate him too.
We all hate your friend.
And we're no longer roommates.
See, that'll
also,
teach him.
he didn't pay his rent because
See?
he also didn't win the lottery.
Because he paid $3 for lottery tickets he wasn't even going to use.
Tori, when have you felt lucky?
I felt lucky that I got to see Chris Cornell play at the Benaroya Hall a year before he died with members of Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains.
Oh,
that is a super for girl, especially somebody who enjoys that kind of stuff as much as Tori does.
Yep.
You know, that's a big night because your life is full of big nights that you really do forget. You think, well, this is a night I'll remember forever, and then you don't.
Yeah.
Like people call me now, oh yeah, that's right. I did this thing I completely forgot. She'll remember that forever. That's a good one.
Derek, when have you felt lucky?
Playing in a poker tournament, I was down to one last chip, and I figured, well, that's it. I'm out. I actually lasted all the way to split the pot with one other guy. We split first and second, and it all happened because I had one chip and a chair.
Nice.
Wow, you sound like a lion tamer.
Yeah.
One
Living the
chair
dream.
and a whip. Or you saying
One
chip?
chip and
But
a
no,
chair.
whip's a way better story. And then the lion came in.
Thanks for the calls and texts. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the news. News is brought to you by Les Schwab. Tragedy struck. 4 Seattle boys were ejected from a car, one of them killed, when a suspected DUI driver lost control and crashed along a highway near Cleellum. The boy who died is a 13-year-old from Seattle. All the other boys, 12 and 13, were taken to Harborview for treatment of serious injuries. None of the boys were wearing seatbelts.
Jeez. Now, is it the drunk guy that was driving the car with the kids in it?
The troopers say the driver was a 51-year-old Seattle man believed to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. He was arrested, and we do not know the relationship between the driver and the 4 boys.
Well, it's not as good as it was.
Yeah.
An Everett hotelist had to be evacuated after a butane tank exploded in a guest room. 2 people were injured. Emergency crews responded to the Delta Hotel on Pine Street just about 12:30 yesterday afternoon. There were reports of an explosion. 2 people were found outside of this hotel room with injuries. Medics treated them, took them to Harborview, and they said there wasn't much of a fire when the crews arrived, but they had to evacuate the hotel as a precaution. And they said the butane canister was too close to a candle.
The butane stuff, my wife has a curling iron, a traveling curling iron, that heats up with butane. A butane thing like you'd put in a lighter, snaps into the handle of this thing. And I don't know if it catches fire or what it does, but it heats up the curling iron. It just doesn't seem safe to me.
And she takes it on an airplane?
I don't know if she takes it on an airplane. She definitely puts it in her baggage.
My goodness. The Bed Bath & Beyond store in downtown Seattle is reportedly slated to close later this year.
I actually go there fairly frequently. I'll be bummed.
I do too.
I just bought some giant cat pillows the other day. that have
Giant cat pillows?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, they're really big, and they have
That's the
pictures of
giant part.
cats on them.
So it's
There's
not.
the cat part. They're pillows, right?
But is it for humans or for your cat?
No, it's for humans for sure. It's one of those things where you sit up in bed, where I have the sit up in bed kind of thing, so I don't need that. But for that little extra oomph, I like a little kitty with its arms around me.
That's the type of stuff you can only buy at that store,
Totally.
too. It's such a fun place to
I
shop.
went down to get something normal, and they didn't have it, and that's when I looked up and saw the cat pillows.
Right.
And then was walking around streets of downtown Seattle holding 2 giant cat pillows with big giant cat faces in them.
Yeah, I'm bummed. I go there quite a bit, and the employees were just told, but the company says the release is ending, but did not provide any further details. So we don't know when this is happening. But
That's the biggest problem with all these businesses downtown. It's getting too expensive.
Yep.
They can't stay anymore.
Happens all the time. Happened in New York City. It's happening right now in downtown LA. When I was there, I looked at all the new stuff compared. Right across the street, there's 20 homeless guys looking for something to do with their lives. And on this side, there's brand new Banana Republic and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's going to go down there because that part of downtown, there's not much going on. It's right off of a bus line, but there's several buildings that businesses are no longer in there. So I don't know if they've got a plan or if it's just not a popular street.
Yeah, well, if you look around, I'll tell you one thing. Look around, look at the cranes. And the cranes tell you there aren't going to be very many empty buildings in Seattle.
Yeah.
They'll find something for it to do.
One of the worst drunk driving offenders in the United States, who has been arrested in 7 different states, has been able to avoid prison time following her latest bust. Tasha Schleicher was slapped with 24 months probation, despite the fact she was attempting to fill her vehicle with kerosene at the time of her arrest in Illinois.
That can't be safe.
No. She was found passed out behind the wheel at a gas station, keys in the ignition. She told police she had 11 kids, but did not know where they were. She had been arrested, and police say they are very disappointed by the sentence that was just handed down. They have called her one of the worst impaired driving offenders in the nation. The last time you may remember hearing about her, she drove through a barrier, breastfeeding her baby, had other kids in the car, and was drunk and driving.
Drunk and breastfeeding as
Yes.
well. Also a thing that should be against the law.
Mm-hmm.
And she's back on the road after that.
Yes.
Now, wasn't this, if I remember back, hasn't this lady been arrested like 60 times or something crazy?
She's been arrested, I believe it's only 7 states. And the good part, I guess, is that she is still wanted, has warrants in Idaho, Oregon, and Nebraska. So she may still wind up in prison. But she's had several.
Yeah, because I remember we were yelling and screaming about somebody who had over 60 arrests and wasn't in jail.
And whatever state she's in right now, they can't ship her off to Idaho
Yeah,
to face her charges there? Or?
I think somebody from Idaho has to come get them. They're not going to pay the cost of sending her.
Unless this makes enough press for them to say, of course we're going to do the right thing. No, nobody's going to do anything now. She's out of custody. That's then. Nobody's going to go find this lady.
Yeah.
A North Dakota woman has died from the hantavirus after probably coming into contact with rodent droppings or winky. The woman was living in a northeast portion of North Dakota. Her death marks the state's first case since 2016. Hantavirus is
That's not that long ago.
No, it's not.
It's a pulmonary syndrome spread by rodents. Can actually be caused by breathing in air contaminated with fresh droppings or winky.
Or
Ew.
you could think one was a gherkin. That's bad when you do that. Don't rat poops look exactly like gherkins?
Tori, you've got a rat, do they?
Gherkins? I don't know what that looks like.
That's a tiny little baby pickle.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
pickles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
little
exactly.
A pretty small pickle.
That's what you should name your your next rat. Is Little Pickle.
Not gherkin?
All right, gherkin's good too.
That's like your rap names. We got Gherkin and Little Pickle.
I like it.
And the Louisiana Office of the Fire Marshals have arrested a woman for setting her couch on fire, but she says she had good reason.
And?
JoLynn Wynn was setting her couch on fire to get the devil out.
Well, that'll do it. Some people use Scotch Guard, but others use fire.
I don't think, I mean, it's been a while since I've cracked the Bible open, but I don't think the devil's afraid of fire, is he?
No,
They live in a lake of fire?
Almost the inventor of
Right.
said fire. Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's a good point.
That's how you get the devil to stay.
Yeah.
Well, if the devil's inside the couch, you set it on fire, and then the devil goes elsewhere to hang out.
In Excess said the devil's inside, and look what happened to that guy.
Oh, true.
So you might want to cut back on that particular activity. Well,
you gotta
don't.
snort.
It's up to you.
Authorities say a suspected burglar was arrested outside of an apartment wearing only boxer shorts.
All right.
Police arrived at the scene, and there was 24-year-old Joseph Whipple standing outside an apartment building wearing just boxers.
Don't hug that guy. Oh, no, that's the shaman. He's Mr. Whipple. Pretty sure I'm right.
When cops arrived, they said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Well, the door was open. I thought I'd go see what was hanging out, who's hanging out in there." And they said, "Blow into this." He blew a 2-4-5.
Wow, that's buzz 2-4-5. That's very buzz. It's not buzz to 3, and it's certainly not buzz to 4. But it's you should not be driving kind of buzz.
Yeah.
In Arkansas, a school opened the doors for the day.
Oh, I thought it was a joke that starts in Arkansas. A school.
The doors were opened up, and a snake wandered in, went right up to the principal, and bit her.
Wow, that's rare behavior, believe it or not.
Very strange that it would just go on up, and it latched onto her thumb. She said that she worked with the animal control who arrived, were able to get it to unlatch from her thumb, and then...
Don't you have scissors?
You probably need like shears.
Good question, yeah.
To cut a snake's head off?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on size of the snake.
Yeah, definitely.
How big was the snake? And how did the snake know which one was the principal?
Yeah, how did it survive the linoleum floors? There's all sorts of questions, Sarah.
Did she suck the venom out? We got lots of questions. Do you have any answers?
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Oh, Arkansas.
A video that has gotten a lot of views showing a man in China using his little scooter, his little motor scooter, to transport 16 bicycles. He has one arm.
I'm sorry, because I was just sitting there looking at it, because I didn't think it was that weird. And then you think about it for a second. 16 bicycles on the scooter that you're riding, that sounds difficult.
Yep. He had 8 on each side and then was used with a bar. So almost like a balancing act, like from somebody who walks a tightrope.
Right.
So he's got the balancing bar, but instead of that being for him to balance, he's got 8 bicycles on each side. One arm is holding the balancing bar, and the other one is steering.
Right.
16 bicycles on a scooter.
How'd he do? Did he make
made
it where
there.
he's going?
Nobody arrested him.
Easily close to 300 pounds, isn't it?
It's a good scooter.
It's not the scooter. It's the
guy's arm.
The
to hold it
guy's.
up.
What's his neck? I'm thinking. You think he's got it balanced on the back of his neck and then holding it with his hand, driving with this hand.
Oh,
That's the
yes.
only
I
way
was
I can see
thinking
it.
thighs. I think you're right. It's got to be behind the
you're
neck.
dragging it on the ground.
Or it could be leaning on the scooter itself.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah, don't try.
Don't.
Pittsburgh is now the largest city in the United States without a daily print newspaper.
Wow, that's weird. Hey, what was their newspaper? It was good, wasn't it? The Pittsburgh Journal?
The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
Yeah.
They are going to drop from 7 days a week to 5 days a week. They launched 232 years ago.
And now they're no more?
5 days a week instead of 7, so they're not a daily print. They're a 5-day.
That's a pretty good run, though.
Yeah, I don't know why it bothers me so much. The future is the future. It's like I didn't get beside myself with the showbox. Hold on to what you can and then go with what you need to do. This seems like, I don't know, a little sad, don't you think?
It does. It does seem sad, for sure.
And are they dropping just a weekday paper, Monday through Friday? Because I
Just
feel
Monday
like
through Friday.
you got to keep that Sunday paper.
Got to keep the Sunday. That's my
important
favorite part.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I bet you're right, Paul. I bet it is
Sunday
through
to
Friday.
Thursday.
Yeah. Sunday.
Math is not our
Maybe
strong
it's
suit.
Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Math is not our strong suit.
No.
So what would be our strong suit?
It's fart jokes.
What kind?
Sophisticated fart jokes.
That's right.
And sometimes not sophisticated fart jokes.
That.
I've got some really big news.
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did I get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
No.
I don't care that much.
Canada Jeff sent me this article, and I had to do some serious fact checking because I thought for sure this was fake news.
And because nobody trusts anybody from Canada.
And Jeff is a notorious liar.
Yeah.
Well, he typically wouldn't steer me wrong, but I still didn't believe him, and I spent about an hour making sure. This is a true story.
All right.
Oreos has not one, but 2 new flavors. Oreo cookies.
Yeah.
We always get the new flavors.
And is one of those new flavors McRib? Because then I'm excited. Yeah.
That would be, we'd think fake news until we found out we could have one.
You're close. Chicken wing flavor Oreo.
No.
Well, but chicken wings don't have a flavor until you do something to them.
It's hot chicken wings.
There you go.
Hot chicken wing flavor.
Buffalo chicken wing.
Oreo.
I'm thinking how fun to do twice, and then no.
Yeah, no, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it once for
Yeah.
sure with a glass of milk or something.
They're also going to debut wasabi Oreo cookies.
Ooh, yummy and spicy.
Yeah.
And
Hot
green.
chicken wing flavor.
All right, I'm in. I'll try it. But I'm already saying in advance, it's novelty that is going to be, oh, that's so weird. Give me one. Oh, yeah, that's funny. And then we move on with our lives.
And we don't have to go to Canada to taste them, do we?
We don't.
We have to go to Canada to taste Jeff, which I think is super weird, but that's the only way he said he'd give us cookies.
Totally worth it.
A woman refused to pull over during a police chase, but said she had a very good reason not to do so.
All right. The devil.
Close.
Okay.
She didn't want the cops to see the drugs and guns in her car.
Not close.
The devil.
Close.
Yeah, that's it. The devil.
Sweet.
So she's driving down the road, and the
Is
cops.
she trying to loosen her load?
Yes.
Because I heard that she's got some women on her mind.
Yeah. So she's driving down the road. They try to pull her over, and she doesn't. Then they radio ahead, and they say this lady won't pull over. So they have a guy in the road, a deputy in the road, holding up his hands, stop the car.
Did you say Radiohead?
Baby's got the bends.
It's what I thought. Something happened, and then radio. No wonder you have to fact check these
they
stories.
radioed ahead.
Radioed ahead.
Oh, you should radio the whole body then.
So they get her to stop the car, and they smash her window because she won't roll her window down. She said, I didn't want to stop because I know you're the Illuminati.
Wow. First thought, if they were the Illuminati, they'd be driving a way better car.
They said, we are not the Illuminati. She said, well, then you must be witches and warlocks, and you must get your hands off me.
And also, in her defense, the Illuminati would totally say, we are not the Illuminati.
That's the first thing they say.
Yeah,
Who'd walk around saying, of course I'm the Illuminati? So that's when they tased her?
They did get her into custody without too much more drama.
Psst.
Just
my
taser anyway.
Just
No,
for fun.
full on, you're the Illuminati, get your hands off me. That's it, taser.
Radiohead.
Totally Radiohead.
Authorities say a man has been arrested in Southern California after they found stolen items in his car. Now, they pulled this guy over because he was riding low. And they said, what does this guy have in his car? Well, when they opened up the cars, when they discovered 800 pounds of lemons.
It's a lot of lemons.
Did life give him those lemons?
Yeah.
Because he should make lemonade out of it.
That's what he made lemonade.
Like a lot of lemonade.
Yeah.
800 pounds of stolen lemons. They said he got them from a nearby farm that hopefully someone else picked because otherwise it's a big crime.
That's like a long time to spend on the crime scene.
Yeah.
Right. Plus, I kind of want to let him have it now. If he went to
Did
the
you say
orchard.
want a lemon have it?
Yeah.
No.
But don't you think all that much work?
If he did, yeah.
If he did it.
If he put in the time
But
to
if he just
pick the lemons.
greased some lemon picker, said
Yeah.
put those on the back of my car, he can't keep them.
Or went to wherever they store already picked lemons and just stole them.
Right. All of these things are possible.
Radiohead.
Radiohead.
Go tips.
Exactly.
A killer whale washed up on an Argentinian beach, and after a 20-hour rescue, they were able to get it back in the ocean.
Wow.
Rescuers had to straighten the whale out to prevent its blowhole from
Hey,
going.
you listen to me, young man. You take out the trash and be home by the streetlights. Come on. There, I straightened out that whale.
You got to straighten it out. Sarah said it's washed up.
Yeah,
so-
totally. You got to straighten it out. It's got to work harder if it's going to be washed up.
20 hours.
Yeah.
They worked and got the killer whale back in the ocean.
And it was a huge hassle. They started by trying to roll it when waves came in, and they ended up with a tractor or something much like a tractor, got it into a net, lifted it up, and then drove it into the ocean. Pretty wild.
I know this might sound weird, but I just see that as being something we do here or the Canadians do, not so much in Argentina. Like, we have a lot of tree huggers here who go and thankfully help out when whales and sea lions and stuff wash up.
Yeah.
20 hours in Argentina.
What are you trying to say about Argentinians?
They don't have good people.
They're not they're just
That's what you're
terrible.
saying.
An orca, Shamu, ends up on the beach, and they go, oh, man, let's cook it like a steak.
Yeah, you
Got a
thought
lot
they
of
were going to
wine
eat
to
it?
Going to El Gaucho.
Yeah. There is a new trend in tattoos, one that, I don't know, Danny, you might partake in.
Okay. Amy wants me to get another one. I can tell she does. She says, oh, you don't have to get one with me. She doesn't mean that at all. She wants me to get another tattoo.
Well, I'll tell you what the latest trend is. Pyrex.
Pyrex?
Pyrex.
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 Pyrex products first came out in 1915, and generations of family have used them for cooking and baking.
Yeah, I got Pyrex in my house.
And now their signature designs are the hottest trend in tattooing. So a lot of people have just the Pyrex glass cup. That's a measuring cup.
Yeah. No, I have a bake thing. A thing for like a lasagna.
Like a
Right.
casserole dish.
But sometimes those are
Lasagna
clear.
casserole.
Yeah.
But most of the time, what people know from Corning Glassworks, the people who make Pyrex, is it's like that milky sort of clay or porcelain, and it's got swirls and designs, and it's real sort of traditional Americana, and that's what people are getting tattooed, like something that they grew up their grandma had.
Yeah.
But they're getting a cooking pot.
Or cups, bowls.
Right, but exactly, they're not changing what this Pyrex was meant to do. That's weird. Because in chef world, you always see these guys with the whisks and measuring things, and they're tattooed on them. But I never heard of this.
This is the new trend. So
when I was
wants
doing
you to get a tattoo, maybe you want to get that.
When I was doing morning radio in Los Angeles, the new thing came out, tattooing the whites of your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And people came in and did it to people on the air. Did it to people that wanted it right on the air. It was crazy. One, so it would glow in the dark with this new ink that glowed in the dark. And the other one, this chick made all the whites of her eyes black. It was horrifying to look at.
People are still doing it, only it's super dangerous. They're trying to get them to stop because if you do the slightest bit wrong, you start to cry whatever color you've had injected into your eyeballs.
Oh, that sounds
that
awesome.
didn't stop me. Yeah. How do I go and get to cry bright blue?
And then
I'd be
there's
bitching.
the blind part.
That's it. That's a drag. And everybody will think that particular activity made me go blind when really it didn't.
That remains to be seen.
I'm 59. If it was going to happen, it'd happen.
News this morning is brought to you by Les Schwab. We have got music news, entertainment, and sports right around the corner. An update to one of your Seahawks just in.
This just did.
We will tell you the latest on that and a very cool story about The Who right around the corner in music news. In music news, Roger Daltrey said they are going to be making a biopic that has to do with Keith Moon, and they've been trying to figure out who will play Keith Moon. And according to Roger Daltrey, I've got to find a Keith Moon, but it will be chosen by looking in his eyes. So he's got to
So
have...
if they're closed, passed out with a bottle of Jack, that's the guy?
It's got to have the real dark, kind of crazy eyes. And if he doesn't have that, you can't play Keith Moon. He said it's something that he had extraordinary eyes, and that a lot of people, he said, misunderstand him. A lot of stuff that they think they knew about him were wrong.
Because of the eyes? They misunderstood.
No.
Because why don't you get a great actor and then who could play the part and then have the makeup or props department give him the right contacts so that his eyes look right?
It's not color.
It's a vibe. It's look at him.
Yeah.
You look in his eyes and you know, oh, there dwells the dark heart of Keith Moon. That's what he's going with.
He
Yeah,
said,
we do.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody outside of the band really got to know him like we did. He was a strange bunch of people.
Yeah, that's really well said. I thought they were going to sugarcoat it because he was in a lot of trouble. You know, he's the guy that famously he played like 3 songs. I believe this is the right guy. Played 3 songs with The Who, passed out drunk, was carried off. And The Who then went, hey, is there anybody out here that can drum? And some guy said, yeah, and came up and they finished the show.
Yeah.
It'll make for a good biopic.
We'll make it great. I will stand in line.
If you've ever looked down at your watch waiting for the bell to toll or the Sandman to enter, or even the day that never comes, well, there is a new line of watches for you from Metallica.
Oh, right on. I wondered what you were going for.
They are going to have images from Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All, Hardwired to Self-Destruct. These are really cool custom watches, and they are going for about $150 to $500. There's also a Sanitarium watch available, which is limited edition for $750. But they're really neat, and they are on sale. You can see them at Metallica.com.
You know what had to hurt the watch business incredibly? The Fitbits. I got a piece of plastic going around my wrist. Looks like a 13-year-old on his way to school. Where I could afford a $150 watch, I guess, but I would never. It doesn't tell me how many steps I got. It doesn't tell me that it loves me if I would just walk a little further. So I have a few watches stuck away in my closet from before the Fitbit came out.
Right.
Now, if you were going to a special event at night and you were, say like going to a wedding or a charity
He'd break out his Metallica
Gala.
watch.
Gala,
Gala.
what would you wear? Your Fitbit or one of your nice watches?
My Fitbit.
You would.
I don't ever
'Cause you
put on the other watch. It tells the time. It's black. You don't know that it's all plastic. Plus, everybody else is all going, oh, you wear a Fitbit? I wear a Fitbit. Let's discuss our Fitbits.
And let's be honest, if you're going to be outside of your house, you want those steps to count.
I totally, or I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
The new Fleetwood Mac lineup will make its public performance debut on September 5th on the Ellen DeGeneres Show.
Really?
They'll do 2 songs, and it will mark the first time audience will see new members, Mike Campbell and Neil Finn, along with the regular folk, Christine McVie, Stevie Nicks, Mick Fleetwood, and John McVie. Now,
so how many are going to be substitutes?
There are 2 substitutes, but 1 person gone. Lindsey Buckingham is gone, but 2 substitutes.
Takes 2 people to fill in for Lindsey Buckingham.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Look at what they're doing. And it still won't work. That's also what he's saying.
And they're going to be on Ellen. This, again, is...
Bless you. So all of the current members of Fleetwood Mac are going to be doing daytime TV.
Ellen.
Neat.
On Ellen.
Yeah, I happen to love that particular show.
You guys remember...
I wonder if she'll give him a car.
You guys remember The Shining?
Yeah.
Here's Johnny.
Oh, that just gives me goosebumps. That is such a scary movie.
See, that did not scare me that much. And I get scared. I still can't get over the Exorcist and stuff like that. No, because honestly, minus the hatchet sometimes, my dad used to act just like that. Serious biz, like no kidding around. If he bashed in your door to make some kind of point and stuck his head through the door, for sure he'd go, here's Johnny, with a growl on his face. So I just looked at it and go, oh man, Dad's mad about something.
Yeah, but it's all supernatural and like killing people, and it's making you go crazy slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. All I really remember about that movie is that one and all fun and all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy for 1,500 pages. I remember that.
Well, the hotel that inspired the movie The Shining is called the Stanley Hotel. It's a real place. It looks exactly like it did in the movie. And Stephen King...
Is it in Colorado?
It's in Colorado.
Okay.
Stephen King actually stayed at the hotel with his wife, and he said things got super creepy. It was the last day before they were closing down the place for winter. This was 1974, and wandering through the corridors, I thought this would be the perfect setting for a ghost story. He said, that night I had dreamt of my 3-year-old running through the corridors being chased by a fire hose. So that...
Oh, I think you need to see a doctor.
like the fire hose came to life and came off the wall.
Yeah.
He's a better story writer than that.
Giant hose is chasing my boy.
That was
what do you think you're masking?
Dream. And in the movie and in the book, it winds up being the twins and the elevator full of blood and like all the scariness. So... this hotel, the Stanley Hotel that inspired The Shining, is back in the news because 300 guests were all asleep in their rooms and a bear wandered into the lobby.
Oh, my goodness.
So this was all on tape because they have security cams, and you just see a bear walking into the hotel lobby, looking around, hanging out, and then he leaves.
Did the fire hose chase him out?
I wouldn't necessarily run, depending on where I was.
From a bear?
Yeah, depending, again, on where I was.
Oh, like if you were in a different hotel?
No, but if I was at the top of the stairs, I would wait to see him commit, because I wouldn't think that's going to be the first way. I think he's going to go to the fridge or something like that. So I'm going to get to watch this bear running around. And if I choose poorly and he starts going to the stairs, I figure I got a key to a room and a thumb. I can beat the bear.
And a hatchet, and here's Johnny.
I get Molly hatchet. I just scare that bear off.
Eddie Murphy's family is getting bigger. The Beverly Hills Cop actor is 57 years old and expecting his 10th kid.
All with the same woman?
Oh, no.
Oh.
This is his second with longtime girlfriend Paige Butcher. Their second together. He has
It's my ex-wife, Paige Butcher. Paige.
Paul the Butcher?
Yeah.
Paige Butcher. He had a kid with Scary Spice.
Paul did?
Yes, Paul.
No, I don't recall that.
Super wordy.
I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I don't remember it.
You would definitely wrap up for Scary Spice.
10 kids.
That's a lot of
Can
kids.
You remember them all?
Me personally? No. I can't remember my kids.
Speaking of kids, the kids, Derek and Tori, will be at Happy Hour, Duke's Seafood and Chowder in Green Lake. Thursday from 4 till 6. That is going to be a great time. And Duke's was voted best restaurant and best seafood restaurant in 2018. If that wasn't enough incentive, Derek and Tori will be giving away a $500 gift card on site. Now, that's a lot of chowder.
Yeah.
Duke's have been in Seattle more than 40 years, and they are setting the standard for sustainable seafood. Good times, Thursday, 4 till 6, Derek and Tori. Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The Mariners were off yesterday. They resume action on the road in San Diego. First pitch, 7:10 on Root Sports. Felix Hernandez getting the start against Jacob Nix. And some bad news about the Mariners. Left-handed pitcher Marco Gonzalez is headed to the DL with a neck strain. Heredia has been recalled to take his place.
Not as a pitcher. That would be weird.
And
I don't think he's left-handed either. So that'd be if Guillermo Heredia has to be a left-handed pitcher now. That'd be super weird.
You never know, Paul. We're having some pitching issues. And the Seahawks defense could be without one of its biggins, as Pete Carroll says. KJ Wright may not be ready for the season opener after having arthroscopic surgery on his knee yesterday.
Oh, walk it off.
He felt something was off in his knee and decided to have some surgery. Rookie Shaquem Griffin has been his primary backup. We will see if he's ready.
So
for
that
the start of the season.
orthoscopic thing, that always means surgery?
It technically you're going in.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't even think of it that way because I thought you look for stuff to do surgery on. But I guess if they've cut you, I'm going to stitch you back up. That's surgery.
Yeah.
Well, and they might have, the doctors haven't spoken. When they went in to look, they might have seen stuff and decided to suck it out with a straw.
Is that how they do that?
Pretty sure she's right. Yeah.
Really? With a straw?
It's easiest for me. Yes, she's right.
Yeah, 100% correct. Yeah. It is the news.
I know they're illegal in Seattle now, so I'm not sure what they did, but I love Fridays.
They're the best.
Game 2, Phoenix Mercury and the Seattle Storm. The WNBA tip-off is at 7 o'clock tonight. Go Storm.
Go Storm.
Go Storm.
The band Journey joined celebrations for race car driver Ryan Norman after he scored his first ever victory in the Indy Lights series yesterday.
What is that? Indy Light, all the taste, but third less filling?
They've been sponsoring him for 2 years, and he finally
the band
won.
Journey has been sponsoring him?
Yep.
Wow, that's cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I want to drive the Journey-sponsored car.
Me too.
And this was his first one. They said it was very dramatic. I believe he won by 0.2 of a second.
No, that's all day.
Sports this morning brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Want to remind you guys, tomorrow, a very big show. Love Wednesdays because Paul's kid makes an appearance. 7:50, Jelly Bean's Joke of the Week.
Because he might get a hole in one. Just re-quoting the Jelly Bean comedy from this morning.
And at 7:20, playing another round of Put Up Your Dukes to win tickets to Battle at the Boat 117 next Saturday night at the Emerald Queen Casino. Plus at 7:30, Rick Jones.
Rick Jones. Man, somebody's taking my house. Somebody's taking my kids. Somebody's taking my money. Rick Jones will tell you how much of that you can prevent. So be here tomorrow morning at 7:30.
Free legal advice at 7:30. All of you are welcome to call. And like I said, it's free. You know who ain't free?
Well, he ain't free, but he is my brother. Is that how that song goes?
Sort of.
Either way. I forget even what I was going to say. Steve Slate is going to walk in this room and he's going to play you a whole mess of classic rock because that's just what he does. We'll get out of his way. Bye.